Niners time again. Fam, how you doing this evening? Yeah, I know. I see Jamel. Ronbo's late. I'm gonna call in anyway. Good. Fam, let's jump right into this because we are late. John Lynch. He wants more production from Brandon Aiyuk. The Niners are currently stressed with two QBs recovering from injury, along with one of the premier tight ends in the NFL hanging out. And it appears injuries are anticipated, right? Everybody knows we're going to get a series of injuries. And if you're a 49er fan, you know that we're going to get more than our share of injuries each and every year. That's just the way it is. And I guess that's the way it's going to stay. What is adding stress is the fact the contributions to the offense that wide receiver Brandon Aiyuk has added or not, which is being seen as not adequate. I'm not sure. My problem is I don't know what exactly they want from Brandon Aiyuk and what is he not delivering. Have they asked him to do a certain amount of things that he's not getting done? It's still a mystery to me. Maybe you can uncover that tonight. After an extremely promising rookie season and a fall off in production in his sophomore year, has Lynch concerned. It has fallen off a bit, but I don't know that if you watch film and everything else, you wonder what is he doing exactly wrong. Now he's not WR1. The comfort zone seems to be Debo. We saw that. First, you may say, is it just Jimmy and Debo got a thing and they just blocked Brandon out? But then you also saw the same thing with Trey. And I don't know if Sudfeld comes out what happens, but I don't know. I can't put my finger on it. I don't see what the problem is. But tonight we'll be going to the phones for your thoughts about what may have slowed the Niners' 2020 first-round pick. Brandon Aiyuk down this season, and your expectations for Aiyuk going forward. Can this get ironed out between now and the end of the bye week? So we'll find out more about that. And, of course, I want to hear what you got to say on this matter. But Brandon Aiyuk's role in the 49ers offense has been a matter of discussion all season and off season for that matter. As I was pointing out early in the season, I said, we got a 1-2 punch now. Aiyuk, Debo, we got this now. But Debo, of course, is holding up his end and doing extremely well. He's one of the best wide receivers in the NFL this year after 5 weeks. Now, the guy that I thought was going to be WR1 is probably not seen by many as that. Most of us had nothing but good things to say about BA, with nothing but high hopes to finally have two wide receivers that were going to be lethal. We talked about that all offseason long. It was an exciting thought. BA has played 2/3 of the offensive snaps, but has just 8 catches for 90 yards and a TD through the first 5 games of the year. That'll never do for a guy of his caliber, right? Coach Shanahan said a few weeks ago that it was just a matter of time before BA would begin producing at a higher level. We're still waiting on that. This past Tuesday, GM Lynch indicated that he'd like to see Brandon make that step. During an appearance on KNBR, Lynch said, quote, "It's time to take that next step, and that it's incumbent on everyone to make sure that happens." You say, incumbent upon everyone to make sure that happens. Kyle, QB, everybody else involved. He's not just talking to Brandon either. That bottom line is, he goes on to say, the bottom line is, we have to find a way. I'm talking to we as a team and Brandon as a player, because for us to get where we want to get, we need this talent and abilities on the field. Having said that, it's important you earn your opportunities. You do that during the week. It's not as if Brandon isn't working hard. For whatever reason, he hasn't made the strides we expect him to. We probably hold him to a higher standards because he has so much in his body, unquote. See, Lynch said the Niners need the explosiveness, quite frankly, that Aiyuk brings to the offense. And what that suggests to me is he's that guy. You got some wide receivers in the NFL that are always running open, always the OBJ. I'm right here, man. Throw me the damn ball. You need that guy. There's a lot of Stephon Diggs that's got guys like our very own, I hate to mention, but I'm using for a bad example, Spoon, right? Spoon is like trying to guard this dude. His feet are getting wrapped up around him, and he's going. That's the kind of thing I think they expected Brandon Aiyuk could pull off as well. My guess. I don't know. Let's say the Niners need the explosiveness that Aiyuk brings to the offense, and they'll try to tap into that when they return from the bye week in Week 7. What do you make of that? Is it Brandon Aiyuk? Is it Jimmy? Is it Shanahan? Is it? You can't put Trey in this mix. Nothing's his fault. He's just got here just putting the shoes on. So I don't know. I've been saying, where's Brandon Aiyuk? And we do that all during the course of the game. Is Brandon Aiyuk, where's Brandon? You're always asking that question every week. Where's Brandon? Because we expect so much more from him. And I suspect that's the same feeling from all the coaches, and especially John Lynch. So after I sing, and what's up? Let's get out there and get our act together for a successful season. Go Niners. Matty S. is out in Benton, Oregon. What's that, Matty? Cesar Estorga. Kyle rather designed pass plays for Juszczyk, Travis Benjamin, or Sanu? Question mark. What a joke. Kyle's getting too cute with his BS play caller. Pardon me a moment. I don't know what you're thinking. No, I've not been smoking anything. I just got dry mouth all of a sudden. Pete Johnson. And Ronbo, I just hope he's not another DP. See, that conversation had surfaced for a minute. Remember people said, oh, man, I hope it's not another DP. But I'm going to wait on that. Pete Johnson, Sean Bullard says, I take Debo, Aiyuk, Raheem over Shanny. Almost any other coach running West Coast would have our guys shining. All right. So, there's probably a lot of mixed feelings out there about this situation. As I said, I have no idea. Travis Howard said, Nick Mullins threw most of Aiyuk's catches last year. Jimmy only 10. Good point. Was it Nick? Wow. That's right. And, hey, John, come on in, man. We haven't talked to you in a minute.
Ronbo.
John. 49ers Ultimate Report returns. Oh, John. Talk to us. And you already know we're talking about Brandon Aiyuk. What's going on with you with this?
Yeah, this Brandon Aiyuk situation, it continues to go on, since week 1 with the hamstring, the supposed hamstring. He hasn't been playing a lot, and, that's what everybody wants to know. And then, John Lynch, goes on KMBR, and, says what he says.
Puts him on blast.
Which, yeah. Which is so funny, because, that's, who Kyle wanted. That's why they drafted him. So, why is Kyle not using him? So there's so many things going on, not just with this Brandon Aiyuk, but in these, 5 weeks, into the season, there's some lost confidence that's going on, with the fan base when it comes to Kyle. And, we just want to know, what's going on. Because, we started, 2 sloppy, victories and then 2 sloppy losses. Basically the Niners have been inconsistent, with these losses and, these wins. I have never seen, one thing I'm seeing with Jimmy Garoppolo, he's in the shotgun. What happened to the play action? What happened to under center?
I was crying about that last year and the year before. Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on with that.
Yeah. And, George Kittle, he's hurt. Everyone's hurt. Everyone says he's coming back. Trey Lance, played, he did what a rookie is supposed to do. And then he gets hurt. So it's like, what is going on in Santa Clara? This has been going on now into 5 years, and we're still seeing, this offense struggle. The defense, at least we can say, the defense, even with, bad, secondary, they've been playing really well. And Nick Bosa's averaging 1 sack a game,
That's right.
So that's really good. D Ford is actually playing pretty good with the limited snaps, so the defense isn't the problem. It's the question is what's going on with this offense, and it's going to be like this until we start to see this team, winning games. Because if this is how it's going to be, if we're going to be winning sloppy games and losing sloppy games, you have to start asking the question, what is Kyle doing? That's all I can say about that.
True. If we're losing like we're losing, it is an indictment on the coaching staff. They're supposed to have these guys prepared and ready to go. We've seen too many occasions when it looked like, what did you guys do all week? What did you guys, I mean, what is that? You got one guy knows doing one thing and another guy doing another thing. You're not all on the same page. You should have never came out here looking like that. Yeah, agreed.
Yep.
So,
And so much expectations coming in, to the season. Now, after 5 games, we finally get to evaluate this team, and I just, I am not as confident as I was during the off season. Like,
you and I agreed.
It's just like, I'm like every 49er fan. I just want to see this team win, but the way we lost to the Packers, that was just foul. Oh man. And then the way we lost to the Seahawks, really against the team that was horrible, with their run defense and their pass defense, and we got, and then last week, we did really, really well against Kyler Murray. We did really well against Kyler Murray, and winning only like just getting 2 scores. Man, it's like I'm lost myself.
Are you okay?
No, I'm good. I'm just like I just don't know what to say.
I agree. How much of this do you think is Brandon Aiyuk's fault? I look at Brandon Aiyuk on the field. Sometimes I notice him, and a lot of times I don't because he's not incorporated. It seems like he wasn't a part of the game plan. So I always wonder, is this Aiyuk's fail or whose fail is this? And actually, Lynch pointed out there's a lot of people that need to come into his office after school and explain some things. So I don't know. I really can't put my finger on it.
Well, that's all I have to say, Ronbo. Thanks for having me on, as always.
All right. Appreciate you, fam. Good to hear from you again, too. All right. There he is. 49ers Ultimate Report. Talk to you later, fam. And we
all
got
right, Ronbo. And just like always, it's Niners all day.
All right.
I like that.
All right. Hey, D-Flow.
Bias. Oh, what up, Ronbo?
D-Flow, man, we're sitting up here talking about the mystery of Brandon Aiyuk. I mean, he's not been involved very much this year. It's been all the Debo show, and we got 2 guys. Why are we using them both? And Lynch is now complaining we need him to look a little bit like he did last year. So I don't know. What are you thinking?
I think it's all BS. That's what I think it is, because what has he been doing? Every time he's had 4 catches?
Yeah.
All 4 catches,
I think
caught them. All right, and I think he had 7 or something like that. And he's catching every single one of them. And not only that, he's making hard catches. Right, so I don't know what they're trying to say that he's not performing. Like, what is he not performing? It has to be other than playing football. It has to be something outside of football. That's basically not professionalism or something. But other than that, it's all on. You just talked about it earlier. Coaching staff. The coaching staff has to develop these players, right?
Yeah.
Shanahan said Trent Schofield has been practicing pretty good, better than Brandon Aiyuk. And where's his numbers?
He said that at the beginning of the season, right? During preseason, even. So I don't know.
Yeah, during the first 2 weeks of this season, right? And all of a sudden, you're going to bring Travis Benjamin out of the practice squad starting. You're not giving him what we all think what Trent Sherfield did during the preseason. He looked good. He had a touchdown earlier in the season. And where is he now? How come he's not scheming anything for Trent Sherfield? We got a catching tight end in Ross Dwelly. Right, we saw what he did. Just throw it up, and he'll catch it. 6'5". How come he's not drawing plays? And another one is this is kind of just mind boggles me is Shanahan supposed to be the offensive guru, correct? He's supposed to dial up plays. He's supposed to know how to scheme good players open and just make it look easy, correct? So why is a rookie defensive coordinator, first time ever being a coach of a coordinator position, is outperforming Kyle Shanahan, who's been in the league coaching longer than D'Amico. He's been the head coach for 5 years, and he's getting outperformed by a rookie first time ever defensive coordinator, I think only coaching 3 years in the league. He's getting outperformed by him, and the 49ers have weapons. Don't say they don't have weapons. They have weapons. They have running games, because everybody said from way before Kyle Shanahan said, you can plug any running back in their system and they will do good. That's always been the Shanahan system. Plug anybody and they'll do good. So far it has. We had undrafted running backs. They all did good. Now they draft 2 running backs. They moved up. And not only that, John Lynch has to learn how to eat his own words too, because he's the one drafting these players. He's the one trading up to get. He traded up to get Brandon Aiyuk. He traded up to get the running back in Trey Sermon. They saw something. Why aren't they using it?
Yeah,
so you can't put blame on them. You got to put blame on yourself. For some reason, Kyle Shanahan is not taking ownership, being like, hey, you know what? I messed up on a couple of play calls. You know what? I got to do better than this. And not only that, weren't they all giddy saying, I think after was it the Mac Jones? Was it the Mac Jones? They were at the pro date, and on the way home, Kyle Shanahan was supposedly dialing up plays for Trey Lance, supposedly, or something like that. Like he was dialing up plays, drawing up plays. And if you look at these plays, like, wow, like, dude, like these are just the Mark Sanchez butt fumble knew what play was coming. He knew what plays were coming.
In fairness, I think his imagination was drawing up plays, but you've got to give Trey's going to have time before he can actually run the things that Kyle's imagining for now. But that doesn't take away from the fact that Aiyuk should be more further incorporated. And I'm starting to wonder, is he really in the game plan, or what's going on with that?
He's not in the game plan.
Yeah, that's what's
all it is. Is that we can just speculate. All we know is, for some reason, this is all I've been saying this for a long time. Kyle Shanahan is not utilizing his players. Oh. He's only using Debo, and Kittle.
Yeah, we have looks like right now.
We have another tight end and Ross Dwelly where they can do 2 tight end sets where they can use Kittle as a blocking and use Ross Dwelly in the passing game, because he's dominant in the passing game.
We can all, I tell you what, we can all agree on one thing. That offense is definitely disjointed right now. Dude, we got to go, fam. Let me we'll be back Friday, as we like to do, and just talk about football, because we ain't got no game this week. All right? Appreciate you, fam.
All right, Ronbo. I'll try to make it.
All right. Be looking for you. Hey, you too. Yeah. And the doctor's in the house, Dr. Papa Dragon, presiding. What his residency is how old? Can we call him the general practitioner? Doc, we just call you Papa Dragon. You know what I'm saying?
Forget about it, Ronbo.
He's doing it. He's not a mic.
All right, so 49er faithful, listen up very, very carefully. I just got done talking to
Brandon Aiyuk?
A buddy of mine who's an NFL agent.
All right.
So what's going on with Aiyuk is a multi-layered problem. For one, with young people, what happens is that with anyone, you get a year on the job and then you get a little bit complacent instead of kind of like taking it up a notch. So some of that's on Aiyuk. The other part of it is that the 49ers have a quarterback controversy brewing. Basically, I've always felt that the Niners were cliquey, and that's what this person said to me earlier today. He said, yeah, they're kind of cliquey. They got like a clique of players that's totally behind Jimmy Garoppolo, and they have a clique of players that are ready to move on, and they got some players who are indifferent but love Lance. So apparently, Ayuk has already voiced his overall displeasure with the short passing game and wants longer routes. And what you saw in the recent game is you saw a lot of longer routes, a lot of more deep throws and things like that, pushing the ball down the field. The obvious thing right now with the 49ers is that they're a team of many problems. And their problem starts with right tackle, right guard, and center. All three of those players are on camp Jimmy because Jimmy gets rid of the ball very quick. Trey Lance holds on to the ball. But see, they make that complaint. However, these guys are whiffing on run blocks as well. So not only are they getting beat in the pass game, they're getting beat at the line of scrimmage. Okay? So it's a very interesting dynamic right now that Shanahan doesn't have complete control over. So to try to kind of quell this thing, you're talking Ayuk, you're talking Sheffield, you're talking Sanu, you're talking Debo. All these players have worked out with Lance in the offseason. None of them worked out with Jimmy at all. So there's a subtle thing that's kind of brewing right now, and Shanahan is trying to control it with his intellect. Now, let me say intellect real quick because, again, a lot of us have dealt with very smart people. They think mathematically. They don't think with common sense. They don't think right or wrong. They think mathematics. If Kyle Shanahan sits there and says, well, there's a man open, guess what? There was a man open. Okay? When he sits there and says, well, there are other options in the play, there are other options in the play. So, for example, when Juice tried that quarterback sneak play, he was not supposed to sneak it. He's supposed to pitch it. He went rogue and did his own thing. So when I say they have a lot of issues right now, they have severe discipline issues as being one of the most penalized teams in the league. They have severe technique issues as far as players, not playing up to their abilities. And we have some players who just can't play. For whatever reason, they are just in the dumps right now. Okay? So there's nothing wrong with Ayuk per se, but his performance is down. He has 1 yard less separation than he did last year. Okay, and part of this could be just immaturity and not playing like a pro and performing like a pro in the locker room. Okay, so I think that he's kind of creating kind of an undercover kind of grumble for Lance. Now, let me finish up with this last tidbit. NFL rules dictate that players are not allowed to be at the facility during their bye weeks unless they're injured. Trey Lance miraculously ended up on the injured list with a knee sprain that could keep him out 1 to 2 weeks. Well, guess what Trey Lance is? He's at the facility right now, working on a game plan for next week in case Jimmy can't go or maybe they don't want him to go. All will be revealed when they play the Colts.
Pop, one thing, does it, as you mentioned that you may have voiced his concerns about the ball being thrown deep, do you think that would make him work less harder, that he'd be that discontent? That kind of
It's
is
very,
interesting.
yes, very similar to what you saw with Brandon Marshall in Denver when he got his way out of Denver. Okay, there is a disconnect between Aiyuk and Garoppolo. Okay, and Garoppolo's click.
And the jealousy of watching Debo get all the shots. Though, as a second-year player,
there's no jealousy. There's no jealousy. He is basically Shanahan claims that he wants players to be able to voice their opinions. Okay. The issue is that my understanding is that Aiyuk is getting his little digs in on Jimmy film. So when they're in the film room and they're meeting as a team, he's digging at Jimmy.
Really?
Okay, almost like he's an opponent of Jimmy. That's my understanding. Now again, I got this from somebody else.
Okay.
They could be wrong. This is like third or fourth hand information.
Okay.
I'm just sharing it.
It's interesting, if nothing else.
So.
Okay. Because as a second-year player,
I can see it totally happening.
I would think he'd be all ears and just be quiet, but maybe not. I mean, but now we're gonna roll. Let me
No,
see.
because no, you guys roll, man. You guys roll.
All right, we'll see. We'll see you Friday. Hopefully, the further
All
development
right,
on
man.
this will
Shout
be
out to
interesting.
production.
All right, fam.
No, like and subscribe. Hey, so far my source was right the first time. He was right about them knee injuries. So far he hasn't let me down. So
All right.
I just think that it's all psychological. Unfortunately, Shanahan cannot control what's happening in his locker room because he's not a leader. He's a mascot. He's a mascot. There it is.
Scary stuff. All right, Pop. You know we got to go. I'm going to tell you what. I'll see you Friday. All right.
Yep.
Wow.
All right.
Wouldn't it be amazing? We have a little thing going on in that locker room. Hey, Casey. Casey. You know, what Pop speaks of is usually the beginning of the end for a coach, too, if it's true. Dre, San Francisco's Dre. Dre, come on in, Dre. Uh-oh, fam. Unbelievable. I think we got some... Are we okay now? No, we're not. Seems like we got some issues with the phone. Let's try Robert and see. Hey, Robert, are you there, Robert?
Yes, I am. Ronbo.
Robert, come on in here, man. We were talking about Aiyuk, and we got some of what we wanted. Papa Dragon, somebody that gave
Pop
him some.
just spilled the tea on us, man. Pop just said basically everything I was gonna say.
Oh, is that right? Okay. So, do you have sources
I
as well?
I kind of hinted at. No, but I kind of hinted at it with you once before, Ronbo. Because Brandon Aiyuk's skill set does not match up with Jimmy's skill set. They don't. You know, Brandon Aiyuk is mainly a deep route, and Jimmy's not efficient. Not saying he can't. I don't want, you know, he's not efficient throwing the ball deep. He's mainly, you know, that's why the Yak brothers and their skill sets don't match up. And if anything, Jimmy's supposed to be a professional, a vet. He didn't take any time in the off season to train with the number one receiver of the team last year that he only threw 10 passes to. You know, most of his passes that Brandon caught last year was from the backup quarterbacks that actually go deeper than what Jimmy does. So that's why we saw more efficiency from Brandon Aiyuk last year. So, you know, it's about chemistry also. Chemistry is a big part of the game. And I was like the caller before he was saying some interesting things, but we got to remember, like the caller before Pop, we got to remember that Kyle can, like, he can scheme up plays and do all that, but, you know, until the quarterback's comfortable in the system, he's going to revert back to what he knows. So him drawing up plays and, you know, for what he envisions doesn't matter if, you know, Trey can't run the basic offense. And players are drafted off potential. It's potential that gets players to the league, not production. You know, we got to realize that you can't guarantee that you're going to get the same production on the NFL, on the professional level that you're going to get on the collegiate level. It doesn't work like that. So, you know, but we got a lot of problems on our offense. You know, we heavily penalized. Like we're in a real rut. We can move the ball, but we can't get the ball in the end zone. So, you know, it's kind of mind-boggling at this point.
Yeah, I'm still a little concerned though. I don't. It's been said here. Pop said about. I don't. Can you imagine a second-year player coming in, complaining about the offense? That to me is interesting, because
Right, that's interesting because he's actually like you said, a second-year player. Like, you know, but he was put on his pedestal last year, and all through the offseason he was put on his pedestal. He's almost like he was in the same boat with Kinlaw. They didn't have a they didn't
come into they didn't get ushered into the NFL.
Right, so he's kind of learning. Right, so he got complacent because he was kind of Brandon's situation. He didn't have to work for anything. It was given to him.
Everything came easy to him. Yeah.
Through situations. It was through the situations that made it easy. It wasn't like it was just, I don't like to say it like that, but that's actually what it was. So he still has to learn how to be a professional. This is his first year learning how to be a professional.
Because there's definitely truth to this. Brandon Aiyuk could get traded. I don't think they're going to put up with that kind of attitude if he really is complaining about the offensive system.
But hold on, let me ask you this, though.
Yes, Robert, here's the thing.
Think about it like this, though. Why would you trade Brandon Aiyuk when he's a weapon that would be
I don't know what
for the next quarterback, and the quarterback that he's having an issue with is on the way out the door?
The thing is, if I can't, that means we have a communication issue, right? If I'm the head coach, I can't have players running around questioning what I do. That system is set up and designed as it was before Brandon got here. He was supposed to come in because they drafted him because they figured he'd fit in, right, and do some of the things. That's why they drafted him in the first place, and Kyle was all excited about him. So now if he comes in and he says, I don't like what you guys are doing, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do that. I can't imagine that. But, I mean, it's out there, I guess, so we'll see.
Yeah. I know there's one more thing I wanted to say one other topic I wanted to hit on.
Real quick, because we got 1 minute.
The defensive coordinator situation.
D'Amico.
How is he out coaching? Yeah, D'Amico. How is he out coaching Cal? D'Amico played in the league. And we got to remember, he inherited a whole defense, and he hadn't really changed it. We may rush a little bit more. We play a little bit more man on the back end, but everything he was given was intact. He didn't change much. So, and D'Amico has experience with playing defense in the NFL. So,
and the thing is, Robert, he's got a lot of polished vets out there too, so it makes it a little more different. Right, fam, we got to go, though.
A whole lot different.
A whole lot. I'll see you Friday, see what we got going on. All right?
Oh, yeah.
All right, fam.
It's going to get better, gang.
It's got to.
It's going to get better.
Because we look bad. We got to get better. All right.
I ain't want to talk about football.
There you go. All right, fam. Have a good night.
Yeah. Hey, Ronbo, this is Dre. I'm here, man. If you, whenever you get to.
Dre, okay. Dre, let me acknowledge Mr. Block Ice here. He says, man, look, Aiyuk needs to get involved in the offense. It's too conservative on the play calling. We need to run the ball better. And my damn knee needs rest. And Mr. Block Ice, this is what I agree. It's not about Jimmy. It's Kyle who's telling people what to do out there offensively. So this is why I'm confused by that report. When they line up the game plan, it's this, and this is what we're doing. So we'll find out more, but we'll see if that story develops. So, Drake, go ahead, fam. What is on your mind as far as the Aiyuk situation goes?
I really think that John Lynch is trying to just save himself. You know what I'm saying?
I hadn't thought about that, though.
Because I've been looking at Kyle offense. I've been watching a lot of Niner shows and listening to a lot of people. And with everybody coming up with Kyle offense, it looks shaky, man. It's been shaky since he kind of got here. I don't know if it's Jimmy that make it look shaky since he got injured and tore his ACL, and it make it look real shaky. But I don't blame Brandon Aiyuk if he did go up to the office and say, look, man, I'm not a running back. You signed me to be a wide receiver.
Yeah.
That's what I'm here for. If you want to do the dink-a-dunk offense, that's cool too. But you got a dude in here that's a stud, and the only thing you got to do is teach him. And then it seems like they don't teach nobody nothing because everybody get hurt, everybody running the wrong route. And it seems like everybody. It ain't just Brandon. It just seems like it's Kittle. Ain't nobody called up a Kittle job the way that they call for Jalen job. I mean, you look at it. Jimmy and Kittle, they almost neck and neck. They're about 10 games apart. If it wasn't for Jimmy tearing that ACL, that'd be
injuries.
Next to games. I mean, injuries.
Put Mostert in that mix too. He can't stay on the
Yeah, it's
field.
like availability, accessibility for us. You know what I'm saying? We paying these dudes high money. They take a majority of our money for the team. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like if you can't produce, get off the field. I mean, Jimmy, this ain't no modeling agency, man. You signed up to play football. Every time somebody sees that you get hurt. That's just not what it is. And if I can't control my offense, I'm gonna get rid of the people I can't control. Cause I'm the boss last time I checked. And if you good, you good. But you always replace me. You ain't that good. You know what I'm saying? You always ain't nobody really on that offense besides Trent that we can't replace.
Actually.
I mean,
You know
let's
what?
think about it.
Dre, you know what, though? I'm starting to think that Mostert is way more than anybody knew about, you know? Because
Right.
man, now that he's gone. But you know what? I like what I see in Elijah Mitchell. We may have something that'll keep that same speed thing, because somebody's got to run that stretch. This is Kyle's bread and butter. If that stretch don't work, it's like throwing a wrench into the works. Amazing.
Yeah. And I think that I don't know if we got it backwards. We think Kyle brought John in. We might think that John brought Kyle in because I've been hearing Kyle
Kyle
never
came
wanted
first.
to come to San Francisco. I never thought. Keep hearing from the NFL experts, but Kyle never wanted to come to San Francisco.
But he was still sitting down in the office before Jed went over and asked him, does he have in mind somebody he wants to be the GM? Because, Jed wanted just peace and harmony. Don't give me no more of this Trent Baalke and Chip Kelly combinations that don't get along, Harbaugh and all that. All they did was sit around here and fight, and I'm the referee. I need guys to get along and get something done. So, yeah, that's what that was.
Right now, it seems like that's where they head. And if you look at the situation, everybody's being held accountable for whatever's going on. I mean, I'm just saying, you think about it.
If they start passing the buck, that'll be the first sign. If you see one start passing blame to the other, then yes, the rift is open. And losing will produce that.
John said everybody is responsible for whatever. Everybody is being held accountable for the way that things is being ran right now.
Yep.
And that means that's Kyle too. That he ain't gonna,
without mentioning any names. Yeah.
Without saying any names. So I mean, you take a look at it. I mean, if it's smoke, it's a fire, and we just got to figure out I mean, right now I really don't care. I just want somebody to come in and coach our players up. Don't tear and get it rolling. Don't tear them down. And it seems like Kyle is scared of every player he got on that team, and he don't trust nobody.
No. Well, when you won 1 out of 5 years, I bet you do get a little paranoid, because he knows he's under the spotlight this year, and he's got to get things done. So if George Kittle's not on the field, Jimmy's laying around hurt, Mostert's already left, will not be back. If I'm Kyle Shanahan, these are the guys that kind of help make things go in 2019. He's probably a little scared.
I think so too.
We'll see. He's got to figure it out, though. He's a grown-ass man. Get in there, Kyle. Fix it. Let's go. If Aiyuk's having an issue with what we're doing, then let's put him in something he wants to do. Don't argue. Don't fight. Let's put him in something he wants to do. If he fails, then tell him to come back down to earth. I'm the coach. You're the player. You're going to do it my way. And that should be the end of that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's the way I see it, man. But, Ronbo, I'm going to get up on out of here. I got to get back to work, man. So,
all right,
thanks for letting us come in, man.
Always appreciate that.
Shout out. And I want to shout out the people at Nothing But Niners. I've been checking their show out. They decent. They the truth. They got me on the hype I'm on. And I'm just ready to play some football, man.
All right.
Regardless who it is.
We got to wait a couple of weeks, but we'll get it. All right, fam. Have a great night.
Yeah, you already. All right, you too.
And Jagger805 says, quarterback situation is a problem. Trey and Jimmy have 2 different play styles. Right now, our defense is a strength of the team. And I was thinking the same thing. Thanks for that contribution, kid. Because the fact is, Jagger also said, should let our defense set the tone. So because when you saw the offensive linemen out there running around confused against the Cardinal game, again, that's due to the fact that you got a big transition in play style between Trey and Jimmy, right? because Trey is going to jump out of the pocket. Jimmy's going to stay in the pocket and get rid of the ball. Trey's going to do something else. Now the offensive line really doesn't seem to know what they're doing. They get all confused, get holding penalties, flags start flying. Casey.
What's shaking, Ronbo? How's it going, man?
All right, Casey, man, we're examining the Brandon Aiyuk situation, and this is the second time Lynch has called out Brandon Aiyuk. I'm wondering, why do they guys keep calling him out? Is there some, I don't understand what's going on.
John Lynch is trying to save his ass right now, man.
You think
He's
so?
covering his ass, man.
So that way he says, I told him about that in week 5, right? I told him after week 5, get him in gear. So, yeah, could be true.
No, they're not on the same page. I'm starting to think that maybe they have to be, maybe there's some sort of, sort of quota that teams have to meet where there's, they have to say certain things about players in media, because that doesn't make much sense, does it, Ronbo? Why would you ever say that? You're going to kill his confidence. The guy's only 24 years old, and like,
and
we're
Casey,
saying he hasn't taken the strides. Well, how many targets has Brandon had? Like 25 in the last 5 games?
Spot like that, because going on KNBR and putting the kid on blast. John, why did you do
Ronbo,
that? That's an in-house thing.
I have a different message tonight that I'd like to touch on. Ronbo, I call and I feel rushed often. You know what Lil Wayne says? The enemy's Russian. But
rather than Swedish.
But tonight, I would like to say that I am I'm not very happy to see the state that the NFL is in. And if you just let me go on for a minute here, I'll tie it in with the 49ers here.
Right.
So, when people say they don't judge, what they really mean to say is they don't condemn, because you're always judging. You go into the jungle and you see the lion in front of you. You can't tell with the lion, you're not going to judge. You're going to judge whether or not that lion's safe, whether or not that lion's going to eat you. But you don't have to condemn the lion if it eats you. You get what I'm saying? So where the NFL is now with this John Gruden thing is judging John Gruden and also condemning him to a life of
banishment,
never owning his mistakes. And so there's a saying that forgiveness can be as mighty as a sword. And I think with Kyle feels like it's his destiny to lead the 49ers to a Super Bowl and inherit his karma. And so if Kyle is unable to forgive himself for the losses that he's taken, he's going to continue to build karma that will not help him. And this team will not be able to gel with Kyle as the coach and be where they want to be. And so I would just hope that there's a lot less condemning going on in the NFL from here on. Because I love John Gruden, and I think that out of the last 50 years, there's probably not been any other coach in the NFL that has been made more fun of in media, Saturday Night Live and Fox and all this stuff. With Frank Caliendo, we all love Frank Caliendo, but really, I don't think that was the right decision that they made, and or that John decided to take or felt compelled to take, whatever it is. And I would really hope that we can all kind of just forgive ourselves for not knowing better sometimes.
Yeah, well, it was a judgment made by several people, including John. So that's really, I don't know. He's not the only one that carries around those thoughts. So it is funny.
And you know what I'm saying, because if Kyle's going to not forgive himself for those mistakes of feeling like he should have known better. That's as simple as it is. I should have known better. I had the 25-point lead in the Super Bowl, and we had the fourth quarter lead in the Super Bowl.
Now that brings it full circle. So you think Kyle's is probably laboring with his own thoughts about how he's failed on several different occasions, and it's
'Cause we
shooting his
talked about
legacy, his family's legacy in the
Yeah,
foot.
we've talked about the whole thing being like a car. You know, if his mirrors aren't right, if his peripheral vision isn't right,
And the car breaks,
he
won't
can't
run.
go forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you gave lots of food for thought and a lot of profound things for us to work with. But we are going to run out of time. But it's pretty interesting how you went there with that. Your thinking must be like, how long have you been thinking this way? It must have been more than just today.
Well, Ronbo, I just hope that Kyle's able to
get over this hump. I think they will. They're getting off to a bad start, but the 49ers may kick into gear soon. We could wait and see what happens next.
He overthinks things sometimes, and there's a beauty in simplicity, right?
See, that's what happens. That's what happens when you're really a sharp individual. You start to overthink, and you kill yourself with your own thoughts. Anyway, Casey, let me see you Friday. All right?
Sounds good, Ronbo. Take it easy, bud. Love you, man.
Hey, Marion.
Ronbo.
You. I was waiting for you.
What's up, man?
Yeah, we're sitting there trying to figure out.
On mute, my bad.
We're trying to figure out it's so funny because we started with Brandon Aiyuk, and we went in all different directions. We went to some conspiracy theories, some potential rumors. There's some projection in there too, probably, and then you just got some spiritual enlightenment from Casey. Casey, I'm not laughing at you. I'm just laughing about the fact that we got all these things going on at once here. Marion, Brandon Aiyuk is not Brandon Aiyuk of last year. His production has slipped. Is that his fault? Is that the system's fault? Has been suggested tonight. Is it the way the game plan is not including him as much as it should? Man, what do you think is going on with this?
Everything. The Cal Center offense is trash. I'm just calling it like it is.
Okay.
It is hot garbage. And, I can't really – every great player that's in the Hall of Fame or that's the All-Pro had a great system behind them.
Yeah.
And from what I see from this Kyle Shanahan system, outside of Matt Ryan, who was already in the league, I've never seen Kyle Shanahan really elevate in a one. And we talk about quarterbacks and wide receivers. Maybe the running backs, okay, maybe. But I never really see him elevate in a one so well that, they just, besides Debo, because Debo is a monster. But the way he used Debo, he don't use Debo as a traditional wide receiver. You know what I mean? Because we don't have a deep threat, and it's just trash, man. I'm calling how I see it. I'm telling you right now. Just all the listen. Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch will get fired.
How soon?
It's going to be this year or next year. One of the two. Their ass getting fired. If we mess around and go to a bad drought and win 3-4 games, then their ass getting fired this year. Because you just can't just keep. The Band-Aid got to come off at some point. You know what I mean? Like Kyle Shanahan said today about John Gruden about everybody's kind of what they say. But what about what you say? I don't never hear him hold accountability when he mess up. So I think Aiyuk's a good player. I really do. It's just I feel like he's in the wrong situation because he don't have the quarterback to give him the ball how he want to give it. And then, but you're right too. How a second-year player going to complain about offense? So you made a point there too. So I don't know.
It's interesting to see.
I just know that offense trash.
The thing is, though, Marion, he flourished in this same system last year. Different quarterback, but he did really well. Although he was the focus of the entire operation last year for the most part. He was the go-to guy. I keep wondering in practice, and that's what I'd have to sit and watch. You know how football practice is. You got to bust ass all the time. If the coach thinks that you're dragging butt, he'll make you pay for it. At the end of the week, he'll ask you, so do you think you did enough this week for me to put you in this game? Well, yeah. What makes you think that? And then you got to explain. Football coaches are weird people. You know, they don't tell you things like that until it's too late, you know? I got sat down for dragging butt. I got caught. You know, how coaches always, all right, guys, everybody take a lap. Blame Bob for that mistake. All right, let's go. And I would get pissed off. And I would like hide behind the baseball backstop at the corner end of the field. I didn't know Coach saw me. So I come walking in with everybody else. Stuart, Ronbo, you know, sometimes I wonder what you take me for. What? Yeah. I'll go ahead and shower up. I want to talk to you guys anyway. So, you know, I didn't realize at that point that I'd gotten caught. I have a feeling that some footballism, 1A, is going on out there. I don't know if Brandon's working as hard, because when Kyle said Aiyuk's not working as hard, sure feels outworking him, I wondered what he meant by that. This is the things that are weird.
Yeah, it's if you're going to call somebody out, make sure that you're on top of your game at the same time.
True. That's true,
You know
too.
what I mean? You just can't sit there. I mean, we can't be having a losing record that you want to call somebody out. Like, for example, case in point, we played Arizona last year, the first game of the season. He called out Garoppolo.
Mm-hmm.
But yet, you the play caller, though. You know what I mean? So
take some of the onus on yourself.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Because it's not just one person. We lost as a team. Then one person loses a game. We all lost together. So take accountability of what you're doing. And that's my big thing. I'm big on accountability. If you mess up, hey, you know what? I messed up. We're going to try to do better, so on and so forth. But don't be pointing fingers, because when you start that finger pointing, it's already toxic in the locker room already. You know what I mean? We don't know what we're going behind closed doors, but I can tell you right now, and got this feeling, it's just a mess about to unravel within the next coming week. And we're going to talk about it. And every time I call, every time I call, I'm going to keep saying, Kyle Shanahan has getting fired. I'm going to keep saying it every time I call. So,
all right.
That's all I got, man. That's all I got.
It's good stuff, too, because I love collecting the thoughts, and that's what I wanted tonight, see what people are thinking about this situation. So good, man. Appreciate you, fam. We'll see you Friday.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it was Friday. I give you my score on the bye week on Friday. How about that?
Well, you can wait, because no telling what develops between this Friday and next, because we ain't got no game.
No. I will give you my score on the bye week. The bye week that we have, we going to lose. We're going to win.
Yeah, we're going to lose even on the bye week. I mean, everybody make that joke about certain teams every year. It's our turn. All right, man. I'll wait for that score, too. I love it. All right, fam.
All right.
Good night.
All right, fam. Yeah.
Jagger says, how is it that people say Kyle doesn't have good leadership skills, but then he promoted and hires good coaches like Salah and Ryans? Yeah, Jake, I got to agree with you that I don't. In fact, I don't think the players have turned their back on him yet either. A lot of these guys still. The defense doesn't look like they've given up an inch on supporting what's going on, the program. They may be confused about the dual quarterback situation. That would be my first guess. If they did have any questions, that would be it, because the offensive line is screwing up. They don't know what to do, how to train, who to train for, what's going to happen next. Hey, Rick.
What's going on, man?
Rick, man, as you know, we're sitting here trying to figure out the Brandon Aiyuk dilemma, which is developing into a dilemma, because we all know he can play better than what we're seeing right now. So is it
right.
him? Is it what? What is it? What do you think it is?
I think it could be some of the same thing. Two things could be the truth. It could be that Brandon Aiyuk is not maybe giving his 100% effort, and he can also be that Kyle is calling some suspect plays. Because the thing about it right now, what I don't understand from Kyle Shanahan, for him to get this genius mantra label or whatever, a genius is able to simplify game plans so it benefits whoever. And if people don't believe that, when we first got Jimmy G, the game plan we gave to him was very simple, because he didn't know anything. Even though Rich Gorilla or whatever worked with him on terminology, whatever, he didn't know a lot. But my thing is this: Kyle, because he's so egotistical, and even though I would say I'm not the biggest Jimmy G fan, I can easily say right now, Jimmy G from 2017 is not that same Jimmy G now. That Jimmy G, the 2017 was very loose. He improvised a lot, and he brought a swagger to us. And I feel like over the time, a lot of that stuff has been coached out of him to the point where now it's like, okay, now we got to go with somebody else. And the thing about it is what makes me big on Kyle right now is, like somebody says, accountability. Like people, Sean McDermott talked to Josh Allen when he first got in the league. Like, hey, dude, you got a big arm, but you're not really accurate right now. So I need you to work on these certain things. Kyle should have been talked to Jimmy G a long time ago. Hey, dude, I know you came from the Pats, but I need you to work on your durability. Call Tom, get TB12, whatever, and work on your durability because we need you. We paid you after 5 games. So we need you to be able to count on you. So if you need to do Pilates, whatever the case may be, whatever you need, but we need you on the field a lot. And I'm not even sure he'd even had that conversation. But now that Jimmy G has been hurt so much, it's almost like, okay, now I can go by and get somebody that I quote unquote want, which brings us to what happened just recently. Okay, you got Trey Lance out there, and you had a lot of suspect calls. We have never gone that many times for it on 4th and 8 or fourth, whatever. It doesn't matter. We have. It wasn't like we had our kicker, our punter, kicking the field goal. We actually got a field goal kicker in there, and so why would you not? Even if we couldn't get it on 3rd and 1, whatever, if it's in 4th and 1, whatever, kick a field goal. Because there's a difference between being stupid and being aggressive. Stupid is, we're just going for it, 4th and whatever, keep going on. Aggressive is at the end of the game, like when the Chargers and the Ravens, they were both faced a 4th down against the Chiefs. They were like, look, we know already if we just kick the ball off, there's a good chance that Mahomes is going to come back and lead them down the field and kick the field goal. So we're going to go for it. And they got it. That's being aggressive. Being stupid is just going 4th and 8, 4th and whatever, and we're calling all these plays and not utilizing our running backs. There's no way we should have had that many plays by Trey Lance. He should have been, hand the ball off. Trey Sermon, Elijah Mitchell, do some little dump offs. But for some reason, he doesn't do stuff. And because he's so stubborn. Because he's so stubborn right now, man. Mm-hmm. It's like, dude, you're going to be stubborn, and you're going to literally, like somebody said, you can get yourself out of this off this team because you have to be able to adapt. You have to be able to adapt. You can't just say, oh, well, my play works, because, that's where communication comes in. Maybe he called a play for Aiyuk, and he didn't run the right route, whatever. But Aiyuk could have came back to the sideline and said, hey, coach, I know you called this, but guess what? This guy right here can't hold me. This guy right here can't hold me or whatever, or this is wide open, and just have a good dialogue with your players and be like, okay, because, right now, and I'm about to get off. Do you honestly feel, Ronbo, that we do like the typical back in the day Bill Walsh, where we have 15 scripted plays, and from that, we build an offense for the rest of the season, for the rest of the either the first half or second half, whatever? I don't.
No. When Kyle scripts plays, and I really wish he would have scripted some for Trey rather than running the offensive system that he does. Kyle he ran a few plays that, I watched a breakdown of that game. Some of those runs, Trey, things are moving a little fast for him now. He was supposed to get that ball out, but the route, you only have a certain few seconds in a window.
Right.
So he took off and ran. Those are things that they should actually have fixed in camp, at least to some degree.
And in camp, and the thing about it is, if he's going to be a good coach, because the thing, we're not even going to talk about his record right now, because other than him being our coach, if he had that same record and he was another team, we'd be laughing like, what are you still doing here?
And
because the thing about it is like,
you don't get this many losses.
Because
Rick, we're gonna have to cut it short though, because we're gonna get too long now.
Like not a faithful, not an empire, but definitely we have to. Kyle needs to hold himself accountable as much as he likes to talk trash about other players. He needs to take some responsibility as well, because guess what? You may have Mike McDaniels as an offensive coordinator, but I always see you with the microphone and a play calling sheet over your mouth calling plays. So therefore, if a lot of things aren't working,
It's you.
It falls on you.
He's
It
head
falls
coach?
on you first, sir.
All right,
It
Rick.
falls on you.
We're gonna look for you Friday.
All right, man. And not a
Let's see
faithful,
develop
not an empire. Hey,
right.
man, I hope that we use this time to come back, recharge, and get ready for the second half of the season and beat everybody.
All right.
I'm out, man.
All right, fam. Have a great night.
All right. You do the same.
And there he is. Let me get into. Wait, where's my grass skirt? I gotta get. Next time Tony's on, I gotta come in with do that number, right, and do that hula. Tony!
Aloha, Ronbo. Happy Wednesday. How are you doing?
Tony, I'm doing fine. I just this thing with Brandon Aiyuk, it's been brewing, as you know, since week 1. And in the beginning, it was his hamstring. Okay, we'll wait. Week 2, hamstring. Okay, still. Week 3, the hamstring's still bothering him, huh? And then we are in week 5, and all of a sudden things have come to okay. As John Lynch goes out in public and says, "Listen, I'm expecting more from Brandon Aiyuk." John, you got. Why are you airing the laundry publicly? I don't know. Tony, what is your assessment of this whole situation?
The only good thing I can see from this Brandon Aiyuk situation right now is at least it appears that Kyle and John are on the same page. Because that was a prime opportunity for John to go out there and say, "Oh no, Brandon's great. I don't know what you're talking about," which would sort of indicate something was wrong with his relationship with Kyle. But it seems at least that they are in lockstep. I am a little bit scared actually of what I think Papa Falcon said a few calls back, and just listening, especially considering his contact was definitely right with Javon Kinlaw's knee in the off season. So it's upsetting because what I see on the field is Brandon Aiyuk catching difficult passes. I see Brandon Aiyuk using his God-given ability to make plays, and
more often than not.
More often than not, his speed. He is a player that even if he has some sort of attitude clash with Kyle Shanahan, he should still be used because it is in the best interest of the player. It is in the best interest of the team, and it is, and thus in the best interest of the head coach. There are plenty of players out there who have had bad attitudes. And by the way, I don't think Brandon Aiyuk has a bad attitude.
Yeah,
I think I think it's probably closer to what Papa Falcon was saying with with the Jimmy and the Trey camps going on, and that is something that we also have to lay blame at the feet of Kyle Shanahan for how he manages that overall situation. And I just want to point to New England for a second because look what happened in New England. Now I'm not saying we should have cut any of the quarterbacks on the team, Ronbo, but that's how you show leadership, and that's your players will follow strong leadership. And I think that Kyle needed to do something a lot stronger than manage the situation the way that he is. And so now we have a player in Brandon Aiyuk who we traded up for. We traded 2 picks away to get Brandon Aiyuk. And now he is relegated to wide receiver 3, wide receiver 4, with Travis Benjamin getting the first looks.
Kind of. Yeah.
It's overall it is disheartening because he has the most amount of downfield speed, the combination of downfield speed and hands on the team, and really and truly, regardless of who the quarterback is, he should be a weapon that is utilized on the regular. And it's sad if Kyle is not scheming things open for him. And by the way, the hamstring thing, he had a hurt hamstring, but he was okay to return punts. Something just does not
so that doesn't make sense.
There.
It's true.
Does not make sense. Does not make sense at all, Ronbo. I don't know. What do you think?
I concur. The thing is, I wonder though. You know how Kyle is. Once you get in this doghouse, we saw Dante Pettis get put in the doghouse. We saw Matty B get put in the doghouse to a degree. We've seen. Right. We're seeing players that are good players. And I don't know, what do you have to say to Kyle? Because he's the kind of guy that's kind of, what did you say to me? I got a feeling he's one of those kind of guys that okay, fine. You know where you go from here. And I hope that's not the case. I'm hoping I'm wrong, but if I were to just look at that situation, that's what I'd probably think. Kyle's one of those guys that don't mess with him.
Something is not adding up. There's something going on that we simply do not know about us as fans that is going on behind the scenes. And I really hope it's just a matter of Kyle and the team needing to grow together to become a better team all the way around. But just the way that he was calling plays in the last game, it was less than inspired. And I've always had faith in Kyle Shanahan's ability to call plays up until this season. And Dante Pettis ended up being not so great overall. He isn't really doing that well in New York right now. And
I
so
think he got cut already.
he got cut. So there you go. He did not do well in New York as right there. So with that, the doghouse is warranted. Akello also, by the way, that was someone. I mean, we go back and forth on Akello Witherspoon. I thought he was playing decently towards the end of last season, but he soured with the 49ers too, and now he's a backup with Pittsburgh. It's a recurring theme that goes on with Kyle Shanahan and this doghouse behavior. I really don't know what to make of it, but there's something deeper going on here that we need some clarity on the other end of the bye week. Now, with Trey Lance now with his injured knee, he's I think what Jesse Naylor pointed this out on a different podcast, but he can now practice at the team facility during the bye week, so it could be
How
a
serious could it
phantom.
be? Yeah.
Yeah, well, not how serious can it be, but is this a strategy to be able to get Trey into the more reps or working with the coaches more to help develop him more? Really and truly, though, it's going to be a long bye week because of how poorly the team his record is going this year, and also just with the way that all these question marks, Brandon Aiyuk and other quarterback situation, all these sorts of things. It's going to be a rough 10 more days until we finally get that Sunday Night Football game. And the thing that I'm really most worried about is going into Sunday Night Football. It's Chris Collinsworth ragging on us and us looking foolish, and Chris Collinsworth loves to trash the 49ers.
Oh,
So
God, he's the worst.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm dismayed.
I know it's a scary thought. I wish you wouldn't have brought it up. I was going to be free of that thought until that night. All right, honey. Hey, Tony, love you, man. We'll see you Friday. All right?
I'll be around, Ronbo.
You got time
right,
for
aloha.
us? Aloha. Yeah, Tony bringing great stuff to the table per usual. Hey, Frank. Frank. Let's move to Ham.
Ronbo.
B-Ham. B-Ham, we wouldn't be having these conversations if we was winning. You know what I'm saying? It's amazing what losing conjures up in the minds of fans. And I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden John Lynch gets on and puts one of his players on blast on KNBR. That's got a large listenership, John. Maybe it's okay. Somebody call me and then get an interview, but I don't need to let everybody know I'm not happy with my wide receiver on the radio. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know, BM. What's wrong with with Brandon Aiyuk?
He is not a deep threat. That's one.
Yeah.
I mean,
hey, BM. On that, though,
I don't know.
You think they got him for that in the first place, and he's not delivering? I hadn't thought about that.
He's not a deep threat. I mean, he is a possession receiver. To me, Ronbo, I don't know how many targets he had. I don't be doing like a lot of the other people, keeping track of how many targets.
He's at 8
versus yeah. So I will say, however, he got 8 targets. How many receptions do we have then?
Somewhere between 4 and 6. He's got a TD. As I remember just going over. After 5 games, it's been minimal for him. While Debo's damn near leading the league, I think he is leading the league in a lot of stats, right? So it's kind of disheartening.
Well, I know a couple of games, a lot of receivers dropped the ball. So you know what I'm saying. I don't know how many drops he have. I know we sometimes wonder why is it the receivers are firing over their head. And sometimes I seem to think, Ronbo, we do have a lot of small corners, like right at 6 feet, and most of the time when we play other corners, they are actually taller. So maybe they're trying to throw the ball to get it over some of those guys because they're not used to throwing against against those bigger defenders.
Yeah. So give our receiver a high pointed, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So. For some reason, that keeps happening a lot. But
Yeah.
When it comes to the, I don't know what Brandon Aiyuk said. I haven't really been keeping up with, and I don't know where would I find it at. I guess I'm gonna go on YouTube to look it up. However, honestly, I think with Trey, Kyle gave a lot of the people that the 49er faithful what they wanted to see. They wanted to get him out there, and they think that he's gonna be Patty Mahomes or maybe even a Lamar Jackson because he got somewhat of a scrambling ability. But hey, man, if you're not ready, you're not ready. I just don't seem to think that he was ready. But you are the number 3 pick, so you should be something. I don't know, man. I don't know, Ronbo. I think the problem is, man, we got to have some type of a running game. Once the running game gets to going, everything else
Works.
works out well.
Beham, you know as well as a man who motors down the road, if your machine has any part that's not working, the whole thing is going to stop. You can drive a little bit with the water pump leaking, but you got to get someplace quick and get that fixed. See, the thing is, the distributor cap is got a problem. The ignition system, all these things, and I'm using these metaphors because that's exactly. We're not igniting on offense. The distribution is weak. You know, I don't know. The 49ers look awfully disjointed because the run game's not working. Everything's predicated on that run game, and we've seen that.
And everybody know it.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Listen, Ronbo. I really want you to think about the years of Kaepernick, and I think we had Frank Gordon. Maybe it was Carlos Hyde then.
No,
I
we
want
had
you
Frank.
to think about this.
1 year, Super Bowl
year. No, I'm talking about the last couple. I'm talking about the last couple of years with Anquan Bolden and those guys.
Yeah.
What I really want you to think about is those guys wasn't speedsters neither. And Colin Kaepernick was the quarterback, pretty much similar to like what Trey Lance, you know what I'm saying?
Good point.
Don't you remember how they used to load the box and dare Colin Kaepernick to throw the ball because they knew that the running game. I think Carlos Hyde was the running back, but he is not a breakout running back. You feel me? So they used to load the box and dare you to throw it. And Bolden wasn't a speedster. Crabtree wasn't a speedster. So by the time these guys actually get open, we done blitzed the hell out of you.
Yeah. It's a scary thing, Beham. I don't know what they're going to do.
What we're going to have to do is either we're going to have to we're going to have to trade. I don't know what we're going to trade, Ronbo. It's scary to figure out what we're going to trade because we like the other guy said earlier, we got too many people that we didn't pay. So,
and can't trade them because they're too expensive now. But yeah, we're going to run out of time. But great points. We're going to see, though, what happens. I hope they adjust.
One thing I can say, Ronbo, when I went back to look, our defense played good.
Ooh.
If our offense can play good to start the game, we will blow people out with the way our defense comes out and play.
With ease,
so
Beham.
We're gonna have to trade. We're gonna have to trade for a running back or some kind of a deep threat receiver to get us to going, man. Have a good night, homie.
Beham, you too, fam. And great points. Oh man. And Bobo says it starts from the top down. Lynch is at the top, then Shanahan. And I don't blame Aiyuk. I blame the guys that drafted him like I blame the coach for losing. Thanks for that contribution, Bobo. And point well taken, too. Travis Howard says that you can't watch his college tape and say he's not a deep threat. Clarence Molina, thanks for that, fam. Clarence Molina says, the bye week will be good for everyone, especially Kyle. He needs a reset. I think he also is distraught because of injuries. He can't catch a break, lose a key. Clarence, I really think when you see that Kyle face, he really looks tired because he can't keep guys on the field. That more than anything, I bet you. That's why we see Kyle looking like what he looks like. Frank, are you there, Frank?
What's up, Ronbo?
Yeah, Frank, we're sitting there and everybody's putting their 2 cents in on as to the Brandon Aiyuk situation. And Frank, it has evolved into a situation at this point. We're in week 5, and it was being glossed over. Nobody was paying it no attention. They was giving it excuses. His hamstrings are hurting, and he's got to do. And then, of course, it graduated to he's got to do better, be better, Brandon. And early on, we heard Sherfield outworked him from week 1. Really? I don't know. If we're getting a lot of lip service on something that's could be getting masked up, Frank, you think somebody's lying? What do you think's going on?
Yeah, I blame somebody, huh?
Yeah, I know. You got it. Destination of blame is always number 1 in the NFL.
Yeah, I think John Lynch shouldn't have called him out like that publicly. I hope, that's something he should have, pulled him to the side and had that type of conversation with him. You don't want to put a player on blast like that.
Because he's just
you can destroy, you can destroy his confidence, or you can destroy his trust. You know what I'm saying? And make him don't even want to be a lot of stuff can go on.
That's part I'm worried about right there. Make him say, well, damn y'all, man, I can go somewhere else. I don't have to put up with this. I don't know, because I don't know Brandon. I don't know, is he that kind of man? Or is he the kind of guy that says, okay, well, I'm going to show everybody here that they don't know what they're talking about. There is that attitude, too, one or the other, but you go in some direction. So,
No, we don't know. I mean, if anything, we need to bring to the boy Kyle Shanahan in your office and talk about that mediocre offense he called it. If you want to call somebody out, but I think the bad week came just in time, so we'll just see how everything gonna play out. But
Frank,
the way our things play.
Let me ask you, Frank. You mentioned something though that offense used to work. You see, that's why I'm confused about that. How come it won't work now? And we already said the run game, because everything Kyle does is out of the run game. But the run game is supposed to be the usher you right on into and open the door for play action. I don't see Kyle doing that much now. He keeps his man in the shotgun, and all of a sudden, I wish I knew what he was thinking, because to try to match wits with him, I can't even begin to think that I can do that. So I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, the run game don't work, man. You gotta be creative,
else, right?
You gotta just come up with different type of schemes. You just so-called guru, so you got to put it on display. You got to throw the ball or something, man. Like if we can't run, you had to throw the ball at some point. You know what I'm saying? So you just have to.
If we had to play Tampa Bay, we'd be screwed. Tampa Bay don't allow for no running. You're gonna see tomorrow night exactly when the Eagles, they like to run, and Hurts likes to bust out. They go break his neck if he starts that. I can't wait to see Tampa Bay, and their ability to stop the run is special. Now, what if we had to play them? See, you got to be more versatile.
Yeah, I mean, we have a solid team, Ron, but it's just we don't have leadership. You need leadership to carry the team. We don't have a leader. You know what I'm saying? Like Kyle he the leader. He the head coach. So he had to lead the team. So look at D'Amico Ryan. He doing a pretty good job. Like you say, for his first time being a defensive coach. So, he got his team, he got his players playing for him, you know what I'm saying? So start with him and John Lynch, man. John Lynch got to pick better players, the players that we need. We need help and players that can stay on the field. You know what I'm saying? So,
and see, Frank, that's what he does. When they pick players, they can, like, this part will fit here, right in the offensive system we're going. This will work over here. See, when they pick those players, they're picking them for the system, and there's an argument about that. Don't be picking players that fit the system. Pick the best players you can get in every position. That argument's going to go on around the barbershops, everywhere people are talking football. That is the bottom line. We want the best talent.
We need a corner for how long? For the longest. We haven't got a corner yet. We need a corner badly. We need another offensive lineman bad. Like, go out there and get it. Like, I don't understand what is John Lynch doing. Like, go get what we need, man. He sit up in that box watching the game every Sunday, saying what we need. He oversees everything.
Frank,
like,
you
get
know
what we
what?
need.
It's like we got Ambry Thomas because we was going to play more of a hybrid man defense this year, and Ambry ain't played a game yet. So we got. You're right. We got to start doing like the Rams. Go buy you a player, baby. Frank, we got to go though, Phil. Be looking for you Friday. Okay.
All right, thanks, Ronbo. Appreciate everything.
No, thanks, Frank.
Love you, man.
Love you back, fam. All right, Frank. See you Friday. And Jamel, just like you said, here you go. Jamel.
Hey, Ronbo, how you doing, bro?
Jamel, I'm just perplexed at what's going on here. I thought we was going to have one of the better 1-2 combinations in the league as far as wide receiver. And, of course, not only did I get my feelings hurt about the players getting injured, now this is what I was saying. Boy, we got ourselves. We tried to get wide receiver duo for 5 years. We got it. And now we find out, Jamel, I don't know, we ain't got it. What's up? And everybody wants to blame somebody. Jamel, are you blaming anybody?
I'm gonna start up in the front office. Start with those guys and start blaming going around with everybody. What I take from the Ronbo is that at least let's get all the drama and everything out the way early now. I say because we still got a whole lot of season left.
Yeah.
There's 12 games left. It's not over. So we got the bye week now. Let's get everything out. And then get ready for a very winnable game against the Colts. They're not doing good this year. And then I was seeing, head to the Shy. I was seeing that Justin Fields kid is doing pretty good. And so we head to the Shy, face the Bears, and we still got 2 winnable games. And let's just take it one game at a time, man. So, and it really starts with up in the front office. Kyle, come on, man. You got to start with you two. You know what I mean?
He looks frustrated, Jamel. He really does.
I know.
When he goes to those media conferences, I'm sure before he went up there, oh, Jesus, another media conference. God, and he gets in there and he composes himself and they ask him questions. And that's why you're seeing Kyle have extreme attitude like we've never seen before this year. When people ask him certain questions, it pisses him off, Jamel. You notice that? You used to see.
Yeah, I do.
Kyle used to come back with a quick tort, a sharp answer, but now he just sounds like, why did you ask me that question? What kind of question was that? And then, I'm sitting there, you guys, Kyle's frustrated, and that's why I said the other day, I'm worried about him. He may quit on us this year. He may just say, I think for the best interests of both the team, the organization, and myself, I'm going to go ahead and step down and let the 49ers move forward probably to a better place without me. And I keep seeing that coming because his face has it written. I'm almost ready to stop this. I mean, are you seeing that? Am I seeing things?
Yeah, no, you're not. I'm starting to see the same things. Like he's not as energetic as he was in 19. When we went to the Super Bowl, I saw things like in 19 where he was jumping up and down. We made plays here and there. And then he's kind of like he's like getting like just like I said, he's frustrated that thing's not going his way. But hey, Carl, you gotta stick with it, man. And hey, we got 12 more games to get it done, and I believe we can do it. So
if we came, Jamel, if Trey, that knee would have been serious, I think he would have quit this week. Because he would have blamed him. He would have blamed himself, and then he probably went and slapped Jimmy because Jimmy got hurt in the first place. I think it's a combination of so many things. And George Kittle, why in the world can't you just play 5 straight games? Call Raheem up. You know what? I really appreciate what you did, but Jesus Christ, I'm just. Never mind. I didn't mean to make this call. Before he said something bad to Mostert, I mean, Kyle could be losing his mind.
Right.
We might be watching a nervous breakdown right in front of us, Because be Kyle for a second. How frustrating is his whole situation? And I know other coaches go through it, but I kind of feel sorry for him because he's our coach. So I ain't blaming him for nothing. Man, it's scary.
Yeah, it is scary, but you know what? At this time, if I was him, if I'm having any frustration, he just need to just go and spend time away and
This next 2 weeks, I know.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Just let it
not
go.
away
Kyle.
from the team, whatever. Yeah, to go over and spend time in the Word, pray. you know what I mean?
Go to Acapulco,
I do it
man.
all the time.
Yeah, give yourself a break. Boy, I'm starting to feel sorry for him.
Right.
Well, but he's a grown man. He's getting paid big bucks, so he's got to make it happen. Jamal, let's see you Friday, fam. I'm glad you got in here too. Saw you on the chat.
Yeah. I'll be back Friday.
Be looking for you. All right, fam.
All right now, yep.
And I see the big show up there. This is going to backfire on Lynch. # be careful. What's Coach saying? Hey, Coach, the NFL media wants us to get on our team. We are taking the bait. Why? Because they know our fans will be silent at our games now. Advantage of the teams, not us. They want us to lose. Yeah, no, I've gotten that feeling from the NFL. It's not paranoia on 49ers fans' part either. The NFL, the media does take unnecessary digs at us and disrespect on a lot of occasions. Salvador! Salvador. And AJ.
What's up, Ronbo?
Jay, man, we're just sitting up here, man. We're trying to figure out how to kickstart, get Brandon Aiyuk involved, and start to move forward with this 1-2 punch that we supposedly had, and it's sitting right there in Santa Clara. Let's get it open and running. Jay, what do you think? Because I'm asking everybody tonight. So the Brandon Aiyuk situation, right? John Lynch is going out in public and telling people I'm not happy with my wide receiver, right? Kyle Shanahan in the beginning of the season said the reason why I started Trent Sherfield because he earned that spot. And now I got Brandon Aiyuk running punt returns and kick returns. They damn near killed him on 2 weeks in a row. So, at this point, Papa Dragon says there's some problems going on in Paradise as far as Brandon Aiyuk, and he's put his feelings on the table out there. What are you thinking about this?
Well, I'm going to think about this. You tell me any person who return punts and kickoff be a Pro Bowl wide receiver.
Normally not, huh? Yeah.
Yeah. So when you put him there,
disrespect.
You can't do both. It's only one person I have seen that actually did very well and played both sides was Deion Sanders. Besides that,
Deion.
Nobody has been dominant in a playing wide receiver position.
Yeah.
And
not today's NFL. That's true.
Exactly. It's too much. For one, we went up and got Brandon Aiyuk last year, and he's proven that catch. Like, you just got to give him more opportunity. You got to take him off the punt return. Put Travis Benjamin at punt return. If he can't do it, get Richie James back. But
I know Richie's laying up getting paid. Wait, how about bring Cannon back? Why did you just cut Cannon off, period? I don't understand. Did he make you that mad? Kyle gets mad. Boy, if you make a mistake, sit your ass down. That's Kyle.
Listen. So this is what I'm getting at, okay? Kyle makes plenty of mistakes. and nobody ain't cutting
Benching
him or
him.
firing him. See, this
I
is
thought about that.
we are human. He got to understand we are human, and his players are human.
Yeah.
They're gonna make a mistake. Jimmy Garoppolo, those interceptions, you don't see him bitching Jimmy Garoppolo.
He
Matter of
probably
fact,
does.
I'm saying he's telling everybody, oh, he played a hell of a game when we ain't scoring the first half. So that's what I'm saying. Like, this is what I don't understand. They're getting on Brandon Aiyuk, and you're not giving this man a chance. And he's out there. He made a couple of plays when his number was called. He made some plays. But when you're not calling that man's number, what can he do? That's what I'm saying. Like, we gotta understand as a football team and us fans, we love our football team, but at the same time, John Lynch need to hold himself accountable. He drafted scrubs after scrubs, you know what I'm saying, and then trying to jump on Brandon Aiyuk. Like, dude, you need to calm down. Like, just worry about getting good players on this team and let Kyle coach the team. Let Kyle, if Kyle feels like Brandon Aiyuk, we don't know what Brandon Aiyuk do to deserve this. But at the same time, he's our second best receiver on the team. Maybe the first. You got to give him an opportunity. And you sitting here saying Trent Sutherland knows the playbook better than Brandon Aiyuk when Brandon Aiyuk been in the playbook a year, but you sitting here saying Trey Lance ain't ready? Come on, man. That's what I'm saying. Some of this stuff does not make any sense. It doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. What do you think, Ronbo? Do you think this makes sense?
Well, the thing is, I draw questions on a lot of things, so I can't draw any conclusions. Though, I have my own theories, but I don't know. Just from playing, I know what coaches go through and how they handle it sometimes, but not at this level. But I mean, I just wonder why would you go and tell people they have high expectations? His standard is really high. So I'm thinking that whatever they've asked Brandon to do, did he not deliver? Why is he being scrutinized in this fashion? I don't get it. So
that's what I'm saying. And then maybe, you know what I'm saying, that maybe what we scrutinize as these other players in the past is because maybe Kyle expect you to want you to do this when you come their second year, and maybe they ain't ready yet because of like how he maybe run the team. Maybe he don't coach him up. Like we don't know these things. Yeah. Maybe he don't coach him up. Why don't you coach him up? You know, so he probably used him as a pure talent in rookie year, and then their second year,
and that's when
he wanted to do
take him to the next level, and he's little stuck in second gear.
Yes.
Jay, we got to stop though. Good points. We'll see you Friday and see if it develops. I'm sure there's going to be more about this for some reason. We're going to see though. All right.
Yes, sir.
All right,
Ronbo. You have a good night, bro.
You too, Jay. Kieran says, did we just do that? We didn't do that, no. Kieran, what's up? I knew Joyce. He said, I don't understand. Kyle is an offensive genius, but our defense has been better during his tenure. you know, we never talk about that much, but that has been the case. It's like Steve said before we hired coach that year. He says, "Oh, don't go get another defensive." Steve Young, don't get another defensive-minded coach. You need an offensive-minded coach. Bring that 49er football back as it once was when it dominated. So they went out and they got a man who's. You see a picture of Kyle Shanahan right next to the term offensive Kyle. So you know. We look good in the beginning. We've seen some things we've never seen before in the beginning. But now we're seeing, like, Kyle's like, oh, man, what day is this? I guess I'm going to install that offense today. So, you know, Kyle, get enthused and pumped. Inspire those guys. Come on, Kyle. Salvador.
What's up, Ronbo? How you doing tonight?
Oh, doing all right, Sal. Man, we're just checking out here. We're trying to figure out if after this bye week, is Brandon Aiyuk going to come out there looking like guns a blazing, or is he going to come out at the end of the game? How many catches, how many attempts did Brandon get? 2? That's it? Oh, no. This has got to stop is what I'm saying. What do you think is causing this, though? Because the boy's got talent.
I mean, there's some sort of friction, Ronbo, but
It really is, isn't it?
I don't really know. Yeah, I mean, it's all speculation. But like, I was trying to put this in the chat. Like, we cannot do like our wide receivers like how we did like Jalen Hurd and like the past wide receivers. Like, the fan bases when they start like jumping on them, like it kills like their morale, and then like it shit just goes south from then on there. Especially like the fans at the game, you can't be booing them. You just really just gotta be like really just be positive and just like hope for the best, honestly, because like it only takes one game and it turns it into 2, and then it keeps rolling from there. But there probably is some friction there. He wants better routes. Hopefully he doesn't start speaking out against the team, because that's one of the things that Herm Edwards, basically like, thrived about this guy, that he was like a good character, and great hard worker. So it's kind of not fitting with his picture that, he's kind of
Right, that sounds out of character, right?
struggling.
Yeah,
It doesn't really like match up for me. He's just really having a bad stretch of games, but
and he's probably
like,
knocking
I'm
himself more than anything else.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, but hopefully he doesn't turn into like, a
OBJ.
problem. And
you can't be
not
OBJ
like
though, and
that.
ain't did anything yet. He had 1 year.
You
Okay,
can't
but
say that, Ronbo, because OBJ was proven. But like,
no,
this
that's
is
what I'm
his
saying.
second year. That's what I'm saying. Like,
He
why
can't
is
go
this
the OBJ road.
Don't really want to talk about it too much, because like, why is this a problem? This is his second year. So, but that it really did shock me how Lynch really just came out and spoke out
right?
against that.
John, what are you
But
doing?
it's not.
That's our business.
Ronbo, check this out, Ronbo. We just really gotta look ourselves in the mirror, man. We're not really like a well-built team. Not really that. We don't really have that much depth this year, and it's showing in the secondary, and especially in the running back room.
Yeah.
And when you look at
but
past draft picks,
Sal. One thing though,
what's up?
we knew we was going to be weak in the secondary. We didn't know we was going to be this weak, but we did know if we lost Jason Verrett, we got trouble. With the running backs, Sal, we had 34 running backs. How in the world are we down to 1? And Trey Sermon ain't working.
The only thing that comes to my mind, Ronbo, about that is because they're not really the elite type of talent, because those elite ones, like generational running backs, they're supposed to last and be a little bit more durable. When you get like second rounders, when you get
like the one that's over, like the one that's over in Pittsburgh that I wanted so bad I couldn't stand it. Bay Area. Sal? Sal?
Yeah, what's up?
The running back over in Pittsburgh that had a great game the other day.
Najee, yeah.
No, I wanted Najee. I've been watching Najee for years, too. I had no idea that he was going to be available for the 49ers. But we had to get a quarterback. I understand that. But Najee, there he goes. Good luck in Pittsburgh, Najee. It's, oh, man. So,
Yeah, you see, that guy's going to be, he's going to be a stud. Yeah, he's a premier running back, kind of like, the Henrys, the Elliott's, and, supposedly the Barkleys. But Barkley, like Chubb, that guy Chubb, like we need to invest in a guy like that, because that guy, he's a third down running back. He gets hurt, but probably because they're running him too much. So really probably need to focus on better positions in the future drafts, and make more of our drafts, because when you look back at it, 2017 we only got 2 players left. That's Kittle and probably Jones. 2018, and dwindles down. Who you got in 2018? Probably Warner. I'm blanking, but that's pretty much it.
Was that 2018?
I can think of 20.
Fred
like
Warner came in 2018. Yeah, you had to, second year.
Yeah, it was Warner, Street.
Yeah,
you see, you can't really think about it. We really got to hit more on these picks. And then,
I think if you get one stud out of each year, that's probably what the multi expects. Every now and then you get 2 or 3. But man, it's rough. 2019, Nick.
Ronbo, but I mean, year 5, I'm looking back at it. We did really bad. As I'm thinking,
Couple of
and
times.
it's really just coming. Yeah, it's coming to haunt us. The year 1 draft pick, the 3rd round pick. So they're like,
But
DJ
Sal,
Bester, and then
there's
Halo.
teams that they draft worse than us, but for some reason it doesn't come out the same. I don't know what's going on with that.
Dude.
It makes,
But look at our linemen. The linemen we drafted are not even on the team anymore.
it's sad, ain't it?
Like that's what I'm saying. Like we're not letting these players play out their contracts.
We got some of
That's
them.
what they're supposed. I know, Ronbo, and then it sucks because we pay those guys, and then there goes our cap space. So that's what I'm trying to say. Like we need to play these freaking guys because we have 4 or 5 years, of cheap labor basically, and they need to produce on those contracts.
Sal, we got to go though. I'm gonna look for you
For
Friday.
sure, Ronbo. You have a good night.
You too, fam.
All right, Ronbo. Take care.
All right, you too, fam. Night. Mac Wavy Money Man. It took you a while to come up with that name. The funny thing is, Kyle Shanahan has more football knowledge and experience in his pinky than all of you couch fake know-it-all coaches in here. Quit crying. And you know what, fam? Thanks for the contribution. That's why I said I ain't gonna be trying to match the wits with Kyle Shanahan. I just have questions as I wish I could know more. I mean, you know what, though, Mac? I don't even know if I could comprehend it, but I really want to know what is going on. Hey, Tony.
Ronbo.
Tony. Well, Tony, I'm glad you got it here, man. I'm looking for answers. I'm out of answers. I've got lots of questions. Mac Wavy just says, you guys got a lot of nerve in here questioning Kyle Shanahan, who has more knowledge of football in his pinky. And, he's damned right. The thing is, we question these things, Tony. Do you have any questions that you may have came up with any answers for?
Well, Ronbo, why can't you question the coach? You've got to lead from the front, don't you?
Yeah.
I mean, he's the leader of the team. And in the last game, you ran your quarterback for 16 carries, and you're talking about the running game. How can you have a running game when your running backs only went for 9 carries? Mitchell went for 9 carries, and Trey Sermon, he brought him on in the last quarter for one carry.
1 carry.
So your running backs your quarterback had more carries than your running back.
You know what? I watched a breakdown film here a few hours ago. Trey actually wasn't supposedly running all the time that he did. He was scrambling, but there was some plays that he was a little late on because he's got to get used to NFL speed. You know how windows open up for wide receivers. He needs to get the ball out quicker. As soon as you make the read, go. And then, of course, after he missed the read, he took off running. This is why, Kyle, don't give him those kind of plays. If I'm going to say something. And then Tony, if I said it to Kyle, he would say to me, okay, well, why don't you coach the team since you know more than I do? Kyle, I'm just saying. That would be me, What? Go ahead. Continue.
I mean, there was no... If you have a look at 2019, there's players running all over the place. There's no misdirections in his plays anymore.
Right.
It's like he's got... You know what I mean? The opposition team, they line up and they know exactly what he's going to do. Whereas in 2019, no one knew what the hell was going on.
Right. And it was
how much
fun to
misdirection
watch.
he had in his play. Yeah, it was fun to watch. As far as Brandon Aiyuk goes, I mean, he got almost 800 yards out of 12 games last year.
Yeah. He was hot. He was on fire.
And if you know what the difference between a good coach, Ronbo, in my opinion, I'm just saying in my opinion, and a great coach? The difference between a good coach and a great coach is a great coach can get a troublesome player like, say, I don't know, Antonio Brown, whatever. Right? Recognize
good
his
example.
talent, right? Recognize his talent. Say to no one wants him. Bring him over here. I want him. All right? Sit him down. Have a talk to him. Calm the kid down and say, listen, you're going to be a superstar in this team, but I need you to just follow my lead.
Mm-hmm.
All right?
Yeah.
You don't chuck them in the dog box like Kyle does. They're human beings, right? You spend more time with them, so to speak. You know, theoretically, you spend more time with them than you do with your family. So you got to be their coach. You got to be their friend. You got to be their psychologist. You got to be everything. If you want the total respect of the team, you can't have factions in a football team. Everyone's got to. It's got to be a brotherhood. What happened to the brotherhood? You know?
Yeah. Because if what Doc Papa Dragon just said, if they're breaking off into cliques, we got trouble. We got trouble.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Big trouble, not small trouble. Big trouble. And Kyle should calm down, have a good look at himself in the mirror, watch and maybe watch the 2019 season and say, oh, shit, that's what I'm not doing. There's nothing wrong with making mistakes, Ronbo.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with making mistakes. It's how you come out of those mistakes that matters.
That's it.
Whether
And every
you
coach
learn
will
from
teach you
them
that
or you
too.
don't.
How you adhere to adversity is going to define you. If you are going to be a failure, then it'll be exposed. If you're a guy that can rise above, then you'll be sailing. So that's why all sports philosophy kind of channels in that direction.
And as far, I said to you, I think last year or something like that, I don't think John Lynch has got as much power in this team as we think he has. I
No,
think
he
all the
doesn't.
power's with Kyle.
That's why George.
And I think John Lynch was instructed to say what he said, not what he felt.
Whoa, Tony, go to the front of the class. I hadn't even thought about that. Because, yes, it's Kyle. Jed York went and got Kyle first. That's his guy. He's wanted Kyle for years. And Kyle, I want you to pick out your GM. And then guys start, I don't know how many guys call Kyle. There's a couple of guys that ESPN analysts is pissed off because they didn't get picked. And then John Lynch came and presented himself in a way that Kyle appreciated it. And he got John Lynch.
Read between the lines.
I know.
I don't think Lynch said that because he felt that way. I think he said it because he had to say it.
It's signed to do so. I don't understand. But, Tony, I'm trying to understand the point of putting your player out there in that fashion. I guess we'll figure it out later. It'll come to light.
Neither do I. That's why I said to you, Ronbo, you don't, if you're at a party and you call someone a dickhead in front of everyone, it makes the person feel uncomfortable, right? Whereas if you pulled him aside, all right, where no one can hear the both of you, you pull him aside and you say, hey, brother, look, you're out of line. I didn't appreciate that or whatever the case may be. That's a better way to go about it.
Get a better response. Great stuff.
Right.
We're out of time.
Not only that, it shows respect for the player. If he calls him into the office where it's Shanahan and Aiyuk and they just sit down over a cup of coffee and have a chit-chat, that's the way to do it in my eyes. All right?
Yeah.
You don't embarrass the kid in front of the whole team.
I agree. And an entire radio audience. Tony, awesome stuff. I'll be looking for you Friday. All right. If you got some time.
All right, brother.
Love it.
No worries.
All right,
Take it
Tony.
easy.
You too.
Bye.
Bye. And Big Show says you can't take away 3 losing seasons in 5 years. It looks like a rebuild in 2021 is acceptable, and we can't question Kyle. Hashtag delusional fan. See, this is why losing is always a bad thing. It's like a disease, a cancer that just spreads throughout the empire. Emilio!
Yo.
Emilio, here we are back in we ain't back in 2015 or 14 just yet. But I don't want to see us head back in there. We need to put some more gas in this car and roll. Emilio, do you question what John Lynch did on KNBR? What's wrong with Brandon Aiyuk? Do you believe that he's probably had something to say and Kyle put him in his famous doghouse? What do you think is going on?
I don't know. What did I hear? I think it was a couple of days ago. I think it was on Crocker's podcast. I think he said he had heard that, I guess, Aiyuk, you know how Aiyuk was balling out last year? Because he was kind of the only receiver. I guess this year, I don't know, something happened either in the off season or
during practice, I guess Aiyuk was like getting a little big headed. So I guess they felt like, they got to settle him down before he gets too big headed for the team. Basically turning into a diva before he gets too far ahead supposedly. I don't know how true that is, but it was something that I guess he heard or something of the sort of like.
No, that's an acceptable theory. I just couldn't imagine him. I heard about that to some degree too. I just can't imagine him. We don't know him, no, but I can't imagine him having diva in him. Herm Edwards would be able to tell you.
You never know, man. These players sometimes, come out, they get to one point thinking I'm the best, I'm the shit, and then all of a sudden they start
throwing the ball to Debo.
You don't know.
And now I'm mad as hell. Yeah.
So
especially with as well as Debo's done.
I don't know, because you think about it. The one that was doing it, did it before, was Crabtree, and he hadn't even touched the ball yet. So,
boy, don't get me started on him. But I know what you mean.
It's a possibility. Don't know. Maybe they're just trying to humble them, like, dude, it's just not about you. You get it. You want to be a star player, but at the same time, they can't hold him back. You just cannot do that to him. You got to let him play. If he's going to be one of our star receivers, you have to use him. You got to use him. There's no point of having him out there. And then it kills me that, you use Benjamin. Benjamin hasn't done his shit over years. Why do you even think that's even going to be possible? So you're taking reps and catches from Aiyuk to do something stupid with Benjamin. He didn't even do nothing. What did Benjamin do the whole game? Nothing.
He was on the practice squad.
On the team. It's just like, why are you doing that? Like I said, I get,
and didn't even use Benjamin like I wanted him to. Send him deep. You ain't sending him deep. There ain't no deep route. Come on now.
Like I said, we want to see what he did last year against Philadelphia. We want to see him jump over players, catch the ball, but they're just limiting him. I don't know what for. What's the point? Like I said, what's the point of having him on the team if you're not using him? Kids like that is just like having Hurd on the practice squad, and you're not using him either. Why is he on the team?
God.
And stuff like that is just, what's the point of doing things and you're not using players?
Man. And it's got to get better, because this could get to be an issue. And the first thing you know, we're here, Kyle Shanahan has announced today that Brandon Aiyuk will be dropped in the depth chart. And then we're going to say, oh, don't tell us this. Could we just don't give us this information? Just tell him where he stands. Don't put it publicly like that. He's just a kid.
It's going to be a matter of time. If I just know if he doesn't keep playing or doesn't play, he's going to want to get out of there. He's going to want to get traded. So
are you right?
And I know a lot of us like him. We don't want to lose him. So it's just, like I said, we saw the talent he showed last year. He showed a lot of potential where he can be a number one. So
I thought he was.
Seriously, why? Like I said, I don't know. Like I said, sometimes coaches have egos, and Shanahan needs to get his head out of his ass and better play calling and get this thing rolling. Because for the most part, as of now, everything's on him. Everybody was saying Jimmy. Now it's not Jimmy. Now you got a new quarterback in there. Now it's on him.
Yeah.
It's all on Shanahan now. Everything's falling on Shanahan. So you got to fix this.
Yeah, that's.
As much as a lot of us don't want Shanahan, they're starting to get pissed off at Shanahan.
Yeah, I still think he's a brilliant coach. I just don't know.
No, he is, but he's just his play calling. Like trying to run Trey. You didn't get Trey to run the ball. You got Trey to throw the ball because Jimmy can't throw the ball deep. So you gotta fix that too.
Yeah, and the problem is
you get these players,
Trey's
but you're not
athleticism.
You're not using their talent and what they're meant for.
It's the athleticism. This is why when you got an athletic quarterback like that, this is why Kyle wants him to stay in the pocket now, because the urge to bust and run he's got that in him. This is what Kyle's probably trying to get him out of. He missed some plays, and if you see the breakdown film, he didn't have to run as many times as he did. But that's what he does.
There was a couple. There was a couple players open, but at the same time, it's his first start. What do you expect? He's not going to miss plays.
I didn't want that kind of play set up for him. Don't put him in plays where he's got to make quick decisions like that. I don't know what else he could have done,
but at the same time, at the same time, you got to blame the line. The offensive line wasn't blocking for him at times. That whole right side, McGlinchey and
Yeah,
was it
I mean,
Glinchey?
there were some plays when
They weren't blocking.
when the receivers were breaking, he was supposed to put that ball, just get it out. I don't know if he didn't trust himself or the receiver, but he's just got to get that ball out, and the receiver will take care of it from there. Those are the plays he's still got to learn. He'll learn them. You can tell he will, but he ain't doing them yet. Well, you know what? We're going to see. He's got to develop between now and the end of the season to me, though. But we're out of time. Let me see Friday,
All
friend.
right.
All right.
You have a good night.
You too. Steven Hernandez. Robert, can you squeeze your boy in for a call? Steven, what, is he on the phone? It's okay. Yeah. All right. We got, the very dark complexion Goldberg. Black Goldberg.
Yo, Ronbo.
Goldberg,
Hey, I got a statement. I got
Go
a
ahead.
statement. I got 2 questions.
All right.
You remember that movie, that college football movie, and you had that quarterback. He got in the huddle, and he was like, all right, guys, let's put the women and children to bed, and let's go hunting for dinner. He said something like that, right? Remember that?
What game?
Remember that
movie was
that
that?
movie?
I'm trying to remember. That sounds familiar.
I can't remember. It's a football movie though. You had to see it. But either way, like just trying to take a little heat from Kyle Shanahan and things like that. Like who on the offense who is it on the offense that we can look at that can be like that quarterback that can bring everybody together and be like, look, no matter what the hell the play call is, whatever the outside noise is, let's play. Let's get the job done. Like who on the offense do I say my second question for
who is
on the offense? Can we?
I think both our quarterbacks have that, but George Kittle will be the guy to come in with things like that, though. you need a wild man.
He's not really available all the time though.
No.
Well,
that's a big problem.
Even with that, with all what's been going on, has George really just been bringing everybody together? We got Fred on defense, but we're talking about offense.
See, Goldberg, you bring up a point.
That's like,
but the thing is, you bring up a point that we was all worried about as far as the leadership on this team. It doesn't necessarily have to be the quarterback. It doesn't have to happen in the huddle. But guys like Richard Sherman, Emmanuel Sanders. Remember how our wide receivers got so good after 5 minutes after Emmanuel Sanders arrived in camp? I don't know. Josh Norman's not that kind of guy, and he told everybody he wasn't sure. I got things to learn myself. He's still immature when it comes to that. But right now, offensively, Sanu, he doesn't carry that kind of weight. So yeah, we got a lot of old guys on our team now, and Trent Williams is not that kind of guy. And neither is D Ford.
That's my that D Ford on defense. Well, we
it's
talking about
leadership
offense,
mentality, and offense, yeah, same thing.
Yeah. That's kind of like my with everything I've been listening to, all week, the different shows and stuff like that. It's like I feel like that's really like the main problem. It's like because we got plays being left on the field, either like the receivers they not executing or they missing balls, and the damn offensive line they not executing like we expected them to execute. For the season. You got Alex Mack, you got Bronskill, you got McGlinchey. They supposed to be having turnaround seasons, but we lacking in that. And I feel like that's really honestly like the biggest problem that we have is we don't have no one particular person on offense. Granted, Kyle is the person that everything falls on. He's the one calling the plays, but even though a player, the coach he can only coach the game. He can't play the game.
Yeah, see,
lead that horse to water. You gotta have somebody on the field. You gotta have somebody on the field bringing everybody together, man. Cause look, let's run the ship. Let's do what we gotta do to win these games.
And you know what? That's a good point because Kyle has to do that. Trey's 21 years old, so starting next year. this problem compounds. He'll be 22, but he's in his first full season next year. Well, just as a starter, right? So it is a scary thing to think about. Somebody's going to have to be loud and vocal. And I don't see the trade. He probably does command a certain amount of respect. But, he's got a lot of old guys around him. So I'm wondering, it's going to be interesting to see because they're firing him up now. Like Debo talks about, we tell him, hey, get out your feelings, do what you do, man. So we have this issue's got to be fixed, and that's a Goldberg. That's a very interesting point.
So like I wasn't gonna call in until I was just gonna listen, and then I heard Papa Dragon get on and he talked about what he talked about, and I was like, damn, like
scary, huh?
Like could that really be happening? Like we gotta have somebody to fix that, on the inside.
That's why
we don't know.
This is where you get Emmanuel Sanders runs over, he grabs Aiyuk by the shirt. Hey, young fella, let me talk to you a minute. See, these are things we don't have, but we got. I don't know. We'll find. Goldberg, we got to go, fam.
I know we got to go, but like I said, I had one question I want to ask, like right before I left, and that's like, where the hell is Jalen Hurd? What's going on with that? I leave it at that. And
Goldberg,
I get out the phone.
Don't even ask this question. Everybody's mad about that. We're just now getting over that just to get into what we're going through now. Goldberg, I'll see you Friday. Oh, God.
All right, Ronbo.
All right, fam.
God damn.
See, we can't get, fam, we've been trying to get receivers for how long? You look at the mess that's been made since 2017 trying to get receivers. We got one, Debo. But the rest are like, Ayuk's going to be it. I know eventually he's going to come around, though. This ain't Dante Pettis Jr. No. Remedial Sports. Hey, Rudy, he said, keep your head up, Ronbo. Everything will be okay. We took out Russell, so you guys have time to right the ship. Go Dodgers tomorrow. Viva Julio Urias. Yeah. And Stephen, if you're calling in, you better do it right now, man, because we're getting ready to close shop here in a minute. Santana. Dun, 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 sabor. Hey, Santana, man,
What's up, man?
The Brandon Aiyuk situation should not be happening, right? Have you figured out why is it happening?
I don't know. I don't understand what's going on. I mean, if you ask me, he played pretty good on last Sunday.
I keep wondering, what do they want from him?
2 difficult catches. I don't even know I don't think they even know what they want, Ronbo, to be honest. But I think Aiyuk is good. I haven't seen anything that shows that he's that he looks bad. Everything he does looks pretty good to me.
They still throw the ball
I don't
to
know
him.
what they want.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Remember Trent Taylor? Remember Trent Taylor before he left? They didn't throw him the ball either. And then they cut him. It's hard to make a living in San Francisco as a wide receiver. I'm sorry, what do you...
I mean, not for Travis Benjamin because he was playing all day on Sunday.
Off the practice squad, Kyle. The practice squad.
Yeah, Rumble. I wanted to say something, man. I wanted to say something about Kyle Shanahan and the quarterback situation that's going on. I think that moving forward, right? There has to be a reason. If we go back to Jimmy or Jimmy plays, there has to be a good reason. Why Jimmy plays, man. If he gets back the starting job, it has to be. I don't believe that making playoffs and then losing is a successful season for us. It's just not.
Right, especially if it's round one, and we lose to somebody like the Rams. Yeah. And the Hawks, for some reason, they're gonna be in the mix before it's over, right? Or worse yet, we see the Bucks in the first round. Ain't no point in playing. Not right now.
Yes.
No, yes. And you know, I think we as 49ers have given Kyle Shanahan more than enough time. You know, we put up with Brian Hoyer. We put up with C.J. Beathard, Nick Mullins. We put up with, you know, 2 injury seasons from Jimmy G. We missed on Patrick Mahomes and we missed on Deshaun Watson because Kyle Shanahan, right? You know,
I guess. I don't know. I don't know who was making those decisions. If he was doing it by himself or what. But you know, it's hindsight, though, Santana. You don't in the draft. You don't know these guys are going to be really great. That's the only thing.
Yeah, but we know we know he didn't look into Patrick Mahomes, and we know that he wanted Kirk Cousins. We know that for sure.
that we know for
what
sure.
I'm trying to say, yeah, and so what I'm trying to say is that if Jimmy G becomes a starter, and we play out the season, and we don't make playoffs, it's just bad. Yeah. It's bad for us. It's bad for the team, and it's bad for Trey Lance, right? Because now next year moving into 2022, we're looking at Trey Lance coming in, and he's going to have his growing pains then. So where do we stand with that? Are we making playoffs again, or are we not?
That's a very scary situation. You know what?
You know what I'm saying?
I think Kyle's worried about having a losing season this year right now, though.
Well, let me tell you what. What's up, Ronbo? Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I just thinking. I think Kyle. I don't think Kyle. He doesn't believe that he can win with Trey just yet. So he's trying to continue to win. That may be a mandate from Jed. I don't know. I'm just wondering. He doesn't want to start the training program for Trey straight up just yet. They want to see if they can make it with this team because they've got the pieces, if they can keep the pieces on the field. And they could win, and they should win. So if you're gonna train Trey, you sprinkle him in, but you don't want to just give him the ball just yet because he's got a lot to learn.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, yeah, I understand that, but it's like right now, it's like fans, like we're confused. What is the plan? You know,
I know, right?
What is the plan now?
I wish I knew.
That's the thing. If you were to play in Trey Lance, we as fans know, like, all right, okay, it's fine. You know, we're moving forward with Trey Lance, and it's time to move away from Jimmy G. Now we're going to give this kid to develop and be ready for either. If we make playoffs this season with Trey Lance, all right, fine, that's great. You know, as long as he's growing, and if he does well and ends the season well, then we know next year we can be contenders. You know what I'm saying? But Santana, I feel like that's more important.
But what if it doesn't come out that way? Then Jed York says, "You guys told me we were going to keep Jimmy and we were going to train. Trey was going to be like at some point when he's ready."
Find out now.
See, that's why. See, you got Jed York. Jed York told him that, and now they can't just abandon plan, especially in week 5. Maybe in week 8, 9, or 10 or something. But right now, you got to stick to the script as to what they originally wanted to do, because they're not all the way out of it yet. You know, but you can't lose a bunch of more games.
But you said if Trey don't plan out, it's either we find out this year or we find out next year. It's going to happen regardless. So it's like there is no point going forward with Jimmy G. It's just the truth, Ron. It's pointless. It's just like I said, even if we make playoffs and we lose, what was the benefit of sitting down Trey Lance? Now we got to wait, a year for him to develop.
Yeah, but if you make the playoffs, see, at least you made the playoffs, and then you had a chance. And then when you get in the playoffs, anything can happen, right? So they've got to keep full sail ahead. You know, Santana, you may see complete abandoning Jimmy, but for right now, they're going to stay the course, mainly because of it's week 5.
With Jimmy G.
Yeah. And so that's the thing.
They're going to, but I feel like the kid gave us enough of a sample to move forward with him.
Well,
he didn't he did, Ronbo. He
did.
Yeah, I mean,
but mostly,
I mean,
Santana, I know, Santana. I'm getting stressed from my production. We're gonna have to continue this on Friday. Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, man.
All right, man.
Okay.
I'll talk to you later, man.
You too.
Yeah.
All right. Water Sucks says, "Yo, Ronbo, the old line must play patty cake rest of the season if we want refs off our butts." I don't know what our old line's going to do. I have sympathy for them. They're used to playing with one quarterback, and then they get another with a totally different style. I don't know how you train for that if I'm them. I don't know. Hey, Darius.
What's that, Ronbo?
Darius, man, we're trying to understand how do we fire up Brandon Aiyuk. The boy is getting all kind of. This, if he sees any nasty text, somebody said something bad to him with an anonymous name, it's probably Kyle or John. Man, because they went and told everybody on the radio on KNBR of all places, yeah, well, it's time for Brandon to take the next step. Really? Oh man, y'all, why you want to do him like that?
I don't think
Talk to him.
I don't think it's Brandon that needs to take the next step. I think it's the play call that needs to take the next step. How can someone take a next step when he's not even get the ball thrown at him? It's impossible. He's not even given the opportunity to take that next step. If he was getting the ball thrown at him and he's dropping passes or he's not creating separation, okay, fine.
Yeah.
But he's doing all of that when the ball's thrown at him. So I don't know. I think it's a bit, and for you to go on radio to say that, I think it's a bit too much, especially on a bye week.
Why you
I don't think you have to do all that. That was way too far. If you're gonna say that, just keep that internal. You ain't got to put that out there in the public. I think John, I think he went too far with that one.
Yeah.
So, but it's not Aiyuk that needs to take a step up. It's the play calling.
Target him then, because Debo's getting all the targets because he's hot. I understand, okay, but there are occasions. Spray it around. We need distribution in this offense anyway. Give it.
Yeah, there should be no reason that Travis Benjamin, who just got promoted to the practice squad a few days before the game, is getting more targets than Aiyuk. There should be no reason why Sanu was getting more targets than Brandon Aiyuk. That should not be happening. It's like as if Kyle and John are going to the QB room and telling the QBs, "Hey, just don't throw the ball to Aiyuk." That's like what's happening.
Darius, they might be doing that. I don't know. It's weird because he was floating around open. With Trey, I understand Trey went to the hottest guy we got because he could find him right away, but he made a brilliant pass to Aiyuk on that one play. But again, you got to give Aiyuk more chances before you start ridiculing him.
Mm-hmm. I thought, after week 3, I thought that Packers game was some, signs of things to come. He got around 4 or 5 catches that game. I'm like, okay, his production is going to ramp up. And nope, the exact opposite happens. And if I'm Brandon Aiyuk, I wouldn't be surprised if he just gets. Because N'Keal Harry did the same thing. Now N'Keal Harry is completely different from Brandon Aiyuk. Brandon Aiyuk is much better than N'Keal Harry. But N'Keal Harry got fed up and he requested a trade. Don't be surprised if Brandon Aiyuk has to trade. Because in my opinion, he's not getting treated properly. That's my opinion. He's our second best receiver. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. He's getting treated like like a practice squad player. So it's getting ridiculous.
What's the guy that went to Pittsburgh from Miami? The safety. It's not
Mika?
Mika Fitzpatrick. It's not like just because you're on your rookie contract that you can't push for a deal to get yourself out of town. And that may be.
Right.
I got to tell you, though, Darius, since Debo is smoking hot right now, everything's going to him, that's got to be pissing him off, though, as far as.
Yeah, but even if everything is going to, you can't just have somebody getting like 80% of the targets. That's ridiculous. Right? Now, that's a bit too much. I understand Debo's balling, man, and that's good. But like getting that many targets a game, you have to spread the ball up. And when Kittle is there, get the ball to Kittle. Like Kittle was getting like 4 catches a game. Like I don't get it. There's something wrong with the play calling, and I'm not sure what it is. Hopefully, during this bye week, we can see them come out against Indy, and they can have this issue with the target share fixed because it's getting ridiculous. This is why our offense is so stagnant, because defenses are just going, all right, it just seems like a little pass to Debo. That's all we got to do. Like, watch out for Debo because God knows they're not going to throw the ball to anybody else.
Hey.
So.
And if they didn't do it on purpose, they established that fear around the league. Now, when Indy comes in, all right, just hold Debo, and we make the rest of them beat you. Oh, okay. The rest of them includes Brandon Aiyuk. Go ahead. Flag off of him. Right. And now that could be an awesome game plan because Debo's going to draw attention now no matter what he does. He was catching that ball he caught in traffic the other day against the Cardinals.
Catch, yeah. What a beauty.
There was dudes all over Debo too, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That may be why some of those passes are intentionally high. I'm starting to wonder about why do all our quarterbacks do that? Sometimes it's because they can't see over. They got to get that ball over the offensive line. And Trey struggled with that a bit by getting it batted down. So Trey says, all right, you batted that down, bat this down. You know, and he throws a missile up in the air. And Debo came down with it. I said, look at that. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So and that's what Debo does for you. He's tough out there. But Aiyuk needs an opportunity.
Right. Yeah. You can't expect something from someone if they're not given the opportunity. You know what I'm saying? So again, for John to say that's way out of line for him, in my opinion.
You know what?
He should have just kept it internal.
Coach
Because
just
you've already gone out in public and said it too much already. You didn't have to go in there
they
just
did over.
re-emphasizing it over and over again.
But to your point, there's Coach has pointed out something. Jerry Rice got 80% of the targets back in the day too.
That's Jerry Rice, Ronbo. Come on.
But what I'm saying is, Debo's established himself as the man. It's going to be unfortunate. Aiyuk's got to pry some of that away from him now, because all our quarterbacks going to do that. They're going to look at Debo because Debo's the dude. Well, we'll see what happens. You got to get him involved. If you're not going to get him involved, don't talk about him.
Okay, but Ronbo,
real quick, 10 seconds.
Before in the 2019 season, obviously Kittle was coming off that year. I didn't see Kittle getting 80% of the targets.
True. We're gonna let's get back into this fight, because this is a conversation that we could carry on for a while. Bring that back up. I'll be looking for you, Darius. All right.
Thank you. Have a nice night.
You too, fam. Hey, Tony.
Ronbo.
Tony, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
Tony, man, I'm telling you, man. You know what it's like, because you guys are probably going through similar situations. There's all kind of question marks all around your clubhouse when you're starting to lose, right? Because we was winning. Everything was peaches and cream, man. Everything was just having a good old time. Now they're trying to get some clubhouse conspiracy or clubhouse rifts are starting to drive up. We got cliques developing. Rumors already getting started. Aiyuk's not happy with the play calling, nor is he happy with the design of the offense. And then you got John Lynch goes on KNBR radio, which is throughout the Bay Area. Boy, everybody knows about KNBR radio. And John goes in and says, well, we're just expecting Brandon to take the next step. I said, oh my God, this is not good. Let me ask the Empire tonight. What's up with this? So tell me, from your position where you sit outside the Empire, what are you thinking about things like this? You probably got similar situations going on, if you do.
Yeah, Calvin Ridley. Remember I talked to you about the other day because he had those 6 drops.
He wants to be traded. He
And
may
then
be
he
asked
missed
to
the
get
last
traded.
game.
That's right.
And he had almost 1,400 yards last year, and they want to turn on him after 4 or 5 games. Man, they out their mind. So, but yeah, Aiyuk, I think you got to get him more targets with Aiyuk. Get him involved in the offense more.
Yeah.
And stop and take him off of kickoff and punt returns, man.
Before he gets killed. My God.
Yes. You got Benjamin for that. Let Benjamin do the returns.
You know,
coaching.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I don't. Did you never seen this kind of? I'm seeing a body English with Kyle that kind of worries me. Contrary to popular opinion right now, or public opinion, I like Kyle. I don't want him leaving. But if you took a poll around the Niner Empire right now, he may be gone. If they had their way.
They want it to be back the way it was after Harbaugh left. They better think about that.
Well, actually, Harbaugh. I don't know if anybody wanted Harbaugh to get fired, though. Trent Baalke wanted to fire him because Harbaugh was messing with his authority, you know?
No, I'm saying after Harbaugh left.
Oh, yeah.
Those couple coaches y'all had in between when there was the lean times.
Jimmy T.
Your fans better think about that.
And Ron Jeremy Jr., Jimmy T. I mean, and also Chip Kelly, who almost ran the team to death. Yeah. They were so tired they couldn't play a second half. I don't know.
And Ronbo, this Muckenberg guy in your chat is saying that at this point in his career, that Joe Flacco is better than Jimmy G. That guy's delusional. Muckenberg, sorry.
Jimmy's,
unbelievable.
Jimmy's going to get knocked. That's it for Jimmy.
The
No
fan
matter
base
what
needs to
happens.
get behind the team and support the team, man. Because now I pose the question to my guys: do you know Cordell Patterson, the receiver, the kick returner receiver?
Yeah.
He's doing good for the Falcons now.
Yeah.
And I said, why not make Cordell Patterson the number one since he's doing really well and put Ridley back in his 2 spot to take the pressure off of Ridley? Oh, no. We got to use Cordell as a running back / Swiss Army knife. But he's doing good as a receiver. He's doing really well.
You know, sometimes coaches, I think they don't want to change things. They want to give it as much time as they can, right? So, you know, they're not going to make changes real quickly. In week 8 is when coaches decide, and I guess it's going to move to week 9. Week 8 and week 9 is when coaches, if they're not doing well with whatever they're doing, they start making dramatic changes. But people want changes made immediately are not going to see it. So,
fan basis. And Ronbo, I said this to you in the summer, but then I forgot about it because it's another team. Buffalo is the team that I picked out of the AFC. Ronbo, they got those 9 defensive players from the defensive line, 5 first-rounders, former first-rounders, 3 former second-rounders, and that Addison, who's that guy, that defensive end, Mario Addison, who used to be with Carolina.
Right.
That defensive line is falling, just like I knew they would.
Mm-hmm. You know,
we got to play later in the year. They're gonna kick our butt.
Oh man, it's because no team has really looked real dominant, except unfortunately, I got to say it, the Cowboys do look tough. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers got injuries; they're trying to get people to help them. Green Bay has been winning by the hair on their chinny chin and had no business winning against us. So they're not anything scary. Who else around the league can you think of that looks tough? Kansas City's getting whooped like a stepchild. Like you said, though, Buffalo. Buffalo's about one of the toughest teams out there right now. If you had a Super Bowl today, it'd be Buffalo versus Dallas.
No, I can't. I'm not going to buy it.
I knew you wouldn't.
Just wait.
The Rams look good.
Get back to
I must say.
Yeah, but they can be beat.
Yeah, they can.
You just got to.
Because the Cardinals beat them up. And see, Tony, the funny thing is.
Receivers, man.
Yeah. Oh, the Rams?
You hit those receivers. That Cooper Kupp is tough, but you got to be physical with them.
Yeah.
And Rob, I got a question to ask you.
Go ahead.
And maybe you can answer this. You know, with all these new rules and everything, the defensive backs.
Yeah.
I be yelling at my TV every week.
Everybody
does. The corners, they're just as fast as the receivers.
Mm-hmm.
They ain't got to grab them. Run with them. Mm-hmm. Run with them.
Yeah.
And then make the play. Why don't they do that?
Because they're so afraid of getting a flag. PIs they got to be up a percentage from last year. You know. Also, they need to revisit that quarterback stuff. If I go and push him after he throws the ball, I wouldn't push him with no juice. I just sort of breaking my own momentum coming at him when I just push him. Why I need a flag and 15 yards for him? Am I supposed to leap to the right or left of him? What if I get hurt doing that?
I've seen some fast corners grabbing receivers all the way down the field. Run with them, man. And then make the play. Turn your head around. I've seen a lot. Your team, my team, other teams.
Everybody does it.
On plays where the quarterback throws the ball and the corner doesn't turn his head around. You turn your head around, you can get the pick.
The thinking is, Tony, you react to the wide receiver's hands and what he does in order not to lose a step. I've always had a problem with that. That's why Deion Sanders needs to get back out there and teach people old school fundamentals. I never see a guy backpedal anymore as he's going downfield. There's a lot of things that I did as a kid. I don't see anybody do it anymore. We could play physical when I was a kid, but you can't play physical all the way down the field. It's a scary thing. Tony,
lack of fundamentals, you say?
Yeah, you know.
And your chat is tearing me up. Talk about Matty melted ice. The Falcons chat must have closed.
Tony, we gotta go, fam. Let me see. I'll be back Friday looking for you.
I'll see you Friday. And Raider Carlos showed his ugly head tonight, and I got on him.
Good.
Chucky.
I'm sick of him. Night, Tony.
All right, sir. You have a good.
Thanks. Ellis. 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 Ellis may be tied up. Although he's never tied up this late.
Ronbo.
Oh, there you are. Ellis, come on in,
Yeah.
man. Yeah, we're trying to put our heads together for what's going on with Brandon Aiyuk. And some things have been brought up today that I don't know. I'd never would have thought of the locker room dividing. It just seemed like Kyle Shanahan took forever to get that culture built, and now we're going to hear this. It's kind of a sad thing, but it is about the quarterbacks, and I can imagine it being that from George Kittle's hit like on somebody saying that Trey is no Kyler Murray. I can't imagine why he did that. And then, of course, there are factions probably throughout the locker room that maybe don't like Jimmy. They used to, but that didn't necessarily have to be the case after Trey arrives. And then I'm sure there's people that probably don't like Trey, that he's a rookie. They're going to treat him like he's a rookie and not take him seriously just yet. But I don't know. With Brandon Aiyuk, Brandon was the man last year, right? And now all of a sudden he ain't the man. Could he have an ego, Ellis? Could there be something going on within his own mind that he doesn't like? But he had, I don't know. What are you thinking?
I mean, man, these guys play in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
There's guys that are sure of themselves and got confidence, out the stratosphere. A guy shouldn't be docked for being confident in himself, but again, we don't know what the particulars were, what the situation was, and there is such thing as arrogance and being overzealous and full of yourself as well. It could have. We just got to know the particulars to really be able to judge that situation. If that's the case, then I don't think Brandon should be just not getting any playing time, and he should be able to get put in opportunity. I mean, he caught a one-handed ball that last game. That was the nicest catch of the game.
Dude, hanging all over him.
Debo
Exactly.
snatched out the air.
Yeah,
and then that one to the sideline. I mean, I don't know. It's not. That's not. That's not a good enough excuse.
Ellis, let me ask you this question, though. Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Now, Brandon Aiyuk, I suspect he was brought in to be that deep threat type of guy. If that's what's bothering the coaches, that may have led to bringing, okay, you know what, let's bring Travis Benjamin in for this game. I kind of took that to believe, I thought about that. I said, I thought Aiyuk was supposed to be doing that. All right, so why are you bringing Travis Benjamin in? So maybe in that, then there lies the problem. He's not fulfilling his mission.
Yeah. Well, and that could be a problem. I don't know if it's his lack of study habits, lack of energy in practice. I mean, he was injured at one point. Kyle was making that to be the issue initially. He was saying, he had gotten basically a little bit behind, and Trent was playing really well, and he was kind of dancing around it. So it's just hard to really gauge what the issue was, entirely, because one minute it was the injury, and the next minute he's not. He's from what John is saying, which that wasn't classy. John's known to be a classy guy. So I'm a little bit. Yeah, that was a left fielder, and that's going to bring down the confidence of Brandon Aiyuk, and that's going to cause some rifts now, individually between guys, and especially him. And Debo's getting a lot of balls this year. But if Brandon Aiyuk isn't really performing or getting off the ball when he is in the game the way that he's supposed to, or getting open, like if he's cutting his routes too short, if he's not going full bore, then he's not giving our quarterbacks the opportunity to get the ball to him, and that's pissing Kyle off when they're watching the tape. There's just a couple of different things that we could say that are probably going on, but I like Brandon Aiyuk a lot, man. And if we get rid of him, who the hell is going to replace Brandon Aiyuk? It's not going to be Juwan Jennings. It's not going to be Mohamed Sanu. And Trent Sherfield is a great damn wide receiver. And I mean, I would be thankful that we had him, if hypothetically that happened. But I don't want to get rid of Brandon Aiyuk.
No. But think about this for a minute, though, Ellis. Think about this for a second. That big play that Trey worked on, him and Sherfield, in the Kansas City preseason game, why wasn't he working with Aiyuk on that play? I mean, I understand if, but that's when Kyle was a little bothered, I think, even as early as that. I said, kind of interesting. Sherfield is on that play. Ayuk's not. So I'm thinking that might be it. Ayuk is supposed to be the deep threat. Yeah, that's right. I think.
I think
they
that's
said
when
he was.
That's when he was injured.
Yeah, that's what they said.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that, and that's. I think it was a hammy, right? I believe that was a hamstring issue that he was having.
Yeah.
So yeah, he was tending to that. So I'm sure that's why he wasn't there for that. In that game, and because particularly that would be him. Right. You're right. He should have been the one catching that ball down the field because he caught some real nice deep balls in training camp, and him and Trey were linking up, and I think they were all excited. Him and Debo were excited to have Trey there. I think they were looking to get down the field and get those things wide open because how many times has Brandon Aiyuk been underthrown or maybe not the best pass deep coming from Jimmy? I've seen him get frustrated before. We've seen that in the games because it didn't get all the way out there and stuff like that, Debo and all them. So they're thinking that this is going to be the calling for it. But again, that's neither here nor there. It shouldn't be a issue where now we're having a question whether Brandon Aiyuk's going to be on his team. I mean, he's a first-round pick. And if Kyle and John trade him, I'll be pissed because I know they're not going to get what we should have got, what we actually, we traded up for him.
Yeah, because you're probably not going to get a first-round pick. Exactly.
No way. And we need that wide receiver depth, Ronbo. I'm not good with Travis Benjamin, and Juwan Jennings gets a little. He's not that quick, fast guy, but he's
and is Jalen Hurd ever going to heal up? I don't know.
Oh my God, I forgot all about Jalen.
Everybody does. Somebody mentioned him earlier. That's the only reason why I remembered him. We go, Ellis. I'm gonna tell you, I'll be looking for you Friday.
Yeah.
All right, fam.
Yeah, man. Well, everything's gonna be good. Let's hope that Kyle's gonna get this thing fixed because, he's definitely gonna be in the hot seat. If we have even a 500 season, he's gonna be in the doghouse for sure.
And you can't have a 500 season this year. It's either lose or winning season. It's 17 games.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right,
but thank you, Brother Ronbo, for the platform as always, man. Shout out to production. Shout out to the Niners faithful, and hopefully our QBs are getting healthy, and we won't be having Nate Sudfeld play against the Colts because if I'm matching him and Carson, that's a lose. Anyway, peace and love.
All right, man.
As always, man, make sure you hit that like and subscribe.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're the best of that adorable squad. All right, look for you. All right,
yes, sir. Yes, sir. They all asleep. All right.
All right. And Clarence Molina says, be careful. We have Kyle. We could have Meyer. You know what? I ain't voting for getting rid of Kyle. I want him to make some changes, but I'm not on that bandwagon at all. And neither Mike. Forget about it. Mike.
What the hell's going on, Ronbo? Did I miss you already earlier or what, Ronbo?
No, hey, Mike, we go from getting rid of, let's see, who are we getting rid of the other day? We're getting rid of Kyle, and now we're trying to figure out, it's, when you're losing, Mike, all the bad things start to happen. And then John Lynch goes public with, we have a problem with Aiyuk. John. Can we please keep these kind of things at home in the house? Close the door.
Now, look, I didn't read the report, Ronbo, but what do they say over there? What exactly came out? Because I've been seeing little posts and whatnot, but what exactly came out? What were they talking about?
Well, John, they've been whispering it, and then John went on KNBR and says, "No, we're expecting Brandon Aiyuk to take the next step." So and Brandon Ayuk's probably, if he's listening, Brandon's like sitting in his car, like, what? So I don't know who to blame on this. If you're gonna blame anybody,
Well, I don't think everyone needs to blow it up. You know what I mean? It doesn't sound like it's too much. I think it's.
Yeah,
I think it's. I think it's fair. It's fair to say, but I will say this. They also need to give him more opportunities.
Everybody thinks that
when he
first.
gets the
I do
ball,
too. Throw him the ball.
when he gets the ball in his hands, he's electric, and he makes plays, and he does a lot of great things with the football. So, they need to do some work on getting him the ball. Kyle Shanahan, for what it's worth, Ronbo, he hasn't really been on top of his game lately. Honestly, just speaking straight up. It's the play calling's been a little bit suspect. And also, one of the things I don't like when they try to just disregard problems as if everyone that doesn't have two friggin' eyes can't see it. You know what I mean? Like, I read this thing the other day, Ronbo. You realize that they have all right tackle and all right guard ranked 32nd and 33rd. 33rd. You know what that means? 33rd. That means that there's a friggin' backup right guard out there that's better than our starting right guard. Can you believe that shit?
Mike, wait. You said right tackle as well?
Right tackle was ranked 32nd with sorry-ass McGlinchey over there. 32nd, Pro Football Focus. And our right guard, Mr. Freaking I Can't Block a Fly Brunskill, is rated 33rd out of the tackles the guards in the NFL. 33rd, Ronbo. That means there's a practice squad guy out there that Pro Football Focus knows can block better than Brunskill. Isn't that a friggin' shame? I mean, unbelievable.
And Aaron Banks is a shame, too. He's supposed to come in here and relieve us of this misery. And yet, he's still trying to figure out what he's supposed to be doing out there. Second-round pick. Yeah, come on, Aaron.
When I read that, it almost made me throw up. I almost flew. And then when you talk to them about it, they just, we think we're all right with McGlinchey. We think we're going to be all right.
We got a lot of faith.
Every beat writer out there, all right, says the same friggin' thing, like, God forbid if something happens to this guy or if something happens to that guy, and this one has to come in because then the 49ers are going to be in a lot of trouble. And that's kind of what's happened, over the years with different things. But then the disregard for it, going into the off season and just acting as if them problems don't exist, acting like we didn't have any secondary issues to deal with, acting like, and that to me pisses me off more than anything, really. So,
but Mike,
this whole
they
deal
can't.
With Kyle, I don't know.
They can't
Ronbo.
display panic, though. Probably when they get through talking to the press, Jesus Christ, what the hell are we going to do? They're probably doing the same thing we're doing, but it's professionally. They're supposed to handle it.
I don't know, Ronbo. I just know that when I look at the team, all right, when I see the team, I don't know. Some's a little off, Ronbo. Some's a little off, and either Kyle Shanahan is one of the greatest liars in the book, all right, because he really spoke genuinely of Trey Lance. But if they really did override Kyle Shanahan with the Trey Lance call, and he really wanted Mac Jones, but Jet York and John Lynch overruled him on that, then you could friggin' forget about it. He's checked out. He's got too big of an ego. He won't be able to live with that, Ronbo. That's going to be a serious problem.
I'm worried about it. He's going to quit.
In a way, Ronbo, too, the game, the play call for against this past week almost was, I don't know, it kind of come across like that. It almost came across like he was like the way he would want to get back at Dan Snyder in Washington. Like, hey, you want a running quarterback? Here you go. Here's your running quarterback. All right, I'll give you a running quarterback. You want to run around with a quarterback? That's what it was. That's what it came across to me as, Ronbo. It came across to me almost like he was saying, this is what you want so bad? Here, because you know what? It's like he won't even entertain the fact that Trey is explosive in the sense he just talks back, Jimmy should be ready. Jimmy's going to be ready. Jimmy should be good to go. Jimmy's going to,
and the plays.
I don't know about that.
Mike,
even Joe Staley.
He agrees that the team's more explosive. I read that.
Yeah, did you? Yeah, that's Joe Staley. Also, that's the guy that was in the huddle with Jimmy. He played with Jimmy.
I know.
He said nothing against Jimmy, but when I watch Trey with the offense, they're more exciting.
And did you see the plays? Did you see the plays he had him doing too? Those plays, he's not ready for those plays. Just give him something easy.
No one's ready for those plays, Ronbo. That's how you get killed. That's why they don't run those freaking stupid college plays in the NFL. That's how you get your quarterback killed doing shit like that. Look what happened to RG3. He didn't even last the friggin' season, all right? Poor kid. And that's what happened. Cam Newton, same thing. Cam Newton, he probably would have had a lot longer of a career. He's a big guy, but he took so much beating in Carolina that what you see now is Cam Newton, the shell of his former self.
Remember that Super Bowl when they almost killed him?
And think about it too, because he's not that old, Ronbo. He just got beat to shit. Because think about how much longer other players like Phillip Rivers and Tom Brady and Drew Brees got to play. They got
and
to
Aaron
play 20
Rodgers.
years. All right, and Cam Newton will never come close to that because
but
he got
hey, Mike,
beat to hell.
So, you just mentioned all those quarterbacks you just mentioned. They stay in the pocket. I'm debating whether or not I like. It's fun watching those dynamics of a mobile quarterback. But my God, Russell Wilson is already crying about the pain he suffered. Let's
exactly,
open this.
And that's because you're right, Ronbo, and that's because the Sea Scum did the same thing. They made it the Russell Wilson show, and they ran him to death for the first 4 or 5 years of his career. And he had Patrick Willis and Aldon Smith and everyone else beating the shit out of him every time we played him. Okay, that's a fact. All right, and then the other part is this, Ronbo. The other part is this. At the end of the day, we just got to figure out what we're going to do with this kid, because an explosive quarterback is great when you have good plays and you use it as a weapon, you know. And so that's what we got to do. But anyway, all right, Ronbo, I'm gonna let you go. I know we've been talking a long time. Hey, shout out to you. Shout out to the faithful out there. I love all of you. Thanks for hitting the likes for Nina Mike, and thanks for liking up Ronbo. You know, I always appreciate the time I get to come on here. All of you take care.
We look forward
and I'll
to
talk to you later in the week, Ronbo.
All right?
Mike.
Be back Friday if you got time.
All right, Ronbo.
All right.
All right,
Mike.
we'll do. All right, Ronbo. Forget about it. All right.
His signature. I love his signature. Forget about it. Bethel, forget about it.
Hey, Ronbo.
Bethel. Okay, Bethel. So, you know, we're losing and we're finding things to cry about. But, you know, there's, for a change, Bethel, it's not like it was in 20. This can actually be fixed. So maybe after the bye week, we're going to see a little different strategies that include a little more spraying the ball around. So it's going to be Brandon Aiyuk is the topic, as you know. George Kittle won't be back until, let's see, God, I don't know when George Kittle.
Yeah, there's something about George Kittle. Before we played the game with the Cardinals, George Kittle posted 2 things. One with our quarterback, and then he posted another one. He thought, like, let's go, you know, young quarterback, and, you know, with him beside him, you know, walking. So, you know.
With him and Trey? You know what?
Yeah.
That might be. When did you see that?
I seen it that day that we played the Cardinals.
Okay, because, you know, the day before, George is probably trying to clean up the hit and like on some guy, some writer or something. Said, George said, no, you don't understand. George probably meant it in a different way. George probably said, yeah, because our guy is better or something like that. Everybody assumed that, okay, well, you cannot compare him to Brandon Aiyuk. So it might have been a positive thing, not negative.
I think a lot of us are probably pissed off is that because we could have been 5-0. It's just that, you know, we are the ones that are, the team is the ones that
beat themselves.
You know, basically, beat themselves. You know, the losses are because of their mistakes and play calling. You know, it's basically all around thing. You know, but the only good thing is that the defense is actually, you know, is
holding
the
us,
best thing.
doing the job.
Yeah.
But if they set the tone, Bethel, the offense has to score.
Yeah.
Don't just have them out there working hard and doing a great job, and then don't score any points. Come on.
Yeah. The only thing I hope for is that our defense doesn't
later on give up because, a lot of defense are where, they're like, hey, we're working our asses off and we're killing ourselves and you guys are not doing nothing. You guys are not scoring any points, for all the hard work that we're doing, so, and then also I seen George Staley call out our coach, saying, hey, some of those play calls, weren't good. It didn't make any sense.
I didn't see. When did you see that? I didn't see that today.
I seen that after the game. George Staley, he actually said that, kind of calling out, the coach.
Since him and Kyle are bros now.
Yeah. Yeah. And
yeah, he called the wrong plays for Trey for sure on several times. Trey's not ready for the plays he was asking him to make. There's got to be something a little more for Trey to do. So
yeah, I think for some reason I don't know if Kyle didn't plan the things right or he didn't do anything or something.
He didn't start until Wednesday. Bethel, I wonder when they'd install that game plan.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I don't know. Was Kyle waiting for Jimmy to come back? Don't do that. Just Kyle, get Trey ready.
No, I see why, he wants Jimmy back because remember, a lot of people have to remember next year we can't let go of Jimmy. His guaranteed money is next year. So the only way we could get rid of Jimmy G, unless we trade him, that's the only way you could get rid of that cap hit. And if you don't give him playing time, and you don't, but this is on Kyle. He has to make Jimmy look good, and he has to make Jimmy
in order to be able to get a trade,
win some games. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? That may be a part of what nobody's thinking about either. You got to get him out there, and you got to win, and now we can get something for him. Yeah.
Yeah, because if you cut him, that's a lot of money that you're giving up, and you're not gonna have a backup quarterback just waiting right there, paying them $25.
But Bethel, the problem is now Trey's not getting enough time on the field because he's a little more raw than I even thought. After watching this game against the Cardinals, he's got a lot of things he's got to be able to get down. So he's going to take time. In practice, I'm not sure how they drill him. I mean, I wonder if they're sending our guys at him at 100 miles an hour because he's got to get used to the NFL speed. He was a little slow on processing, but that should be expected at this level for him. But he's going to need some more time. We'll see how Kyle handles
and
this.
And then I think another thing is that affecting Kyle is, remember, our offense coordinator, he's doing two jobs. He's doing plays for the running and he's doing plays for the offense. So maybe that's too much for him. And before we had Matt LaFleur, and he was calling a lot of the plays.
Mike McDaniel's helping him though. I don't know. I don't know who's making decisions out there, but Mike's pretty good at this, I guess. I don't know because we're not seeing what we should have seen. Anyway, Bethel, we gotta go, fam. I'll see you Friday. Good to hear from you as usual.
All right, no problem, Ronbo. Good show. Hit a like for Ronbo Sports.
Thanks, Bethel.
And hopefully Kyle can make some better plays and some better thinking
and get us winning again. Yes.
Yeah, get us winning again. All right, Ronbo. Good night.
All right, Bethel. Have a great night.
Niners. All right, you too.
Thanks, fam. Hey, George.
Here we go. What up?
George.
Hi,
Hey, the whole gang's here. What's up, y'all? Ain't talked to y'all in such a long time. George, what do we owe this pleasure? Because I'm saying, what? Well, I saw your name. I said, can't be George. No way. What's up, fam?
Yes, it is. And Chloe.
And I was just saying, hey, we got Chloe in the house, too. Yeah. Have you two been taking it the season? Is it like, since we've been losing all of a sudden, we didn't expect to be losing with everybody back like we're doing, right? So now here come the head scratching, the questions. You know, people are already trying to fire Kyle Shanahan. Hey, Chloe, do you want to fire Kyle Shanahan?
I don't know.
Yeah, I can tell you and George been firing Kyle Shanahan because George is telling you, shh, don't tell him you don't know. No, it's okay. George, what are you thinking? I mean, as far as Brandon Aiyuk, because we need to get him more incorporated. I don't know. They're not happy with him, and they're making it public about they're not happy with him. I don't know. What are you thinking?
They're trying to put a fire under his tail to maybe get extra out of him.
No.
But he's got skills, and like you've seen the other Niner fan was talking about, he is electric. You know, he's gonna display his skills on the field. I love the way he jukes people. You know, that juke Aiyuk. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I gotta remember that.
Yeah.
Juke and Aiyuk. Yeah, no, he can play.
Yeah. You know, look at the way he was juking him out there. I was like, hey, man, you need to get the ball more often, matter of fact.
See, that's the thing.
Know? So
I don't know why people complain. If you want him to play, then make him a part of the game plan. Sometimes I get the idea that he wasn't really in the game plan because Debo's so hot right now. Just feed Debo, feed Debo, feed Debo. You know, because, like, teams do that. Whoever the hot receiver is. Because when you look at, like, the Raiders, what's that tight end they got? They act like that's the only guy they got, you know?
Yeah.
So I say, it happens.
Well, you know what? Even Debo, they can make sure his ass still is stretching out his hamstrings because we don't want him to blow out a tire.
Because he'll do it.
And they need to make sure they're stretched out. Wow. I mean, all you need to do to go to a staircase and then stretch out your hamstrings. I don't know what they're doing before they go out, but they need to stretch it out so they feel comfortable and loose. So they go out there and execute comfortably without some injuries like that, because those are the flesh. Now.
And when you stretch, after you get through stretching, rub some ointment on it. You know, let that heat ointment. Let it keep it hot. There's no reason for that muscle to freeze up on every other play, and they got it going on every week. And we're lucky with Debo. Knock on wood. So you know.
Yeah. I'm telling you.
But the season's been going bad. I tell you, George, because we're supposed to be winning these games. You know, we're not supposed to be we're supposed to be 5-0. Ain't nobody been really beating us up. We just coming up short.
No, look, so we're grinding it out. Look at with all the confusion and injuries, we still are scrappy enough to be fighting. Where it's like, you know, sometimes they be barely getting us. Right. And I'm like, so, you know, we're just like a player away, an unnecessary injury away, or somebody to come back full extent, you know. And then check this out. I don't care what everybody's hating on with Trey. Check this out. So he's a rookie quarterback in the NFL making TDs still. So he's still producing production on a pro level. So he all good. He's not as bad as people think. Yes, he needs to catch up, especially with crazy ass Kyle's big ass headed ass prideful plays. Yeah, he got some good plays he got out there for us, but he doesn't need to make it so complicated for him. Okay, you can make some other plays on the field, but there's other easier plays you can have him produce with his skill level out there, and we can tear up these defenses.
Because, you know, you're going to get him hurt. If he keeps putting him in a situation where he wants to bolt and run, I want him to be able to sit there and get rid of that ball. You don't need to worry about anything more. Just get rid of the ball right now. Get rid of the ball now. You know, there's his break. There it is. Now release. Go. He's going to watch film, and he's going to see where he should have released. This is going to be a growing experience for him. And that game was probably valuable for that because he just was late on some throws, and then he took off. But see, that's why, Kyle, don't give him that assignment just yet. Okay, pop a screen, you know, here and there. Maybe just a swing pass, run some jet sweeps. Can I get the run game going? Elijah Mitchell looked good. Give him the ball. And Trey Sermon coming in for one run. Oh no,
he's got wheels. He has got wheels. And at that goal line standoff where he barely didn't make it in, Even the announcers were talking about if he would have just dove up, he would have broke the plane.
Yeah.
That's just
They might have knocked him back, but he still would have had a touchdown. Experience, George. Yeah.
Dude. And you know what I mean? It's just one adjustment away. We lost. If the Cardinals are one of the best, hottest teams, okay, we were 7 points in the loss. That's one TD away. What would that would have been if he just rose up and broke the plane right there? We might have been at a tie with a rookie on the field
and
get your hot team.
And George, also that play, did you notice after they committed, because he already did his job, he made him think he was coming in. All right, just take a step back. Elijah Mitchell's wide open. Just drop it to the back of the end zone. He's right there. Just drop it to him. So that's the thing. Between panicking, experience, and seeing that open man. There was another, also Ross Strelly. Ross was standing back in the middle of the end zone. I mean, right there at the goal line, because everybody left because they saw him going right, which is what he wanted him to do. Take that defense to the right. Ross Strelly. Trey, look to your left. Look to your left. Ross is so open, I can't stand it. And, touchdown. So this is the things he's going to learn as he goes, but he's got to go through it. That's the thing.
Hey, there's nothing wrong. If you notice these mobile quarterbacks, look at what the Kansas City. So Mahomes, he's a shovel pass quarterback as well. Shovel pass that damn ball. Practice the shovel pass. They're not expecting the shovel pass all the time. They don't see you doing it on film. Shovel pass their ass.
It's it'll come to him. He's got and Zach. No, it's not true. Zach, look at the film. It's not what happened. But these are things. These are things that he'll learn, because there was times when all he had to do, don't take a step, don't run out of the pocket. There's the play right there. Just make the throw. That's all you got to do. This will come to him. But right now he's freaking out because that was his first game and he wanted to do well. Yeah. His mom is up in the stands. Probably in practice he makes that play too.
Yeah, but his dad, I can guarantee you, his dad is in his ear making sure his son is watching tape. Not only the coaches are on him, you know what I mean? He's doing it on his own, and his daddy's in his ear. I can tell you, I'm a dad. I can look at when a dad's like, boy, I can't wait to talk to you when we off.
Go down there and take your belt off to them at halftime, Hey, Tony, I got to go, fam. I mean, George, I always want to call you Jorge. Yeah. That's why I'm having trouble with that. Jorge and Chloe.
Bye, Uncle Ronbo.
Hey.
Bye.
Bye, Chloe. Jorge, how old is Chloe now? I remember she was tiny. That was a few years back. She must be going to junior high school or high school by now.
Yeah, she's 12 years old now.
Yeah.
12? Oh, it's junior high time. You go, Chloe.
Hey, so we wanted to send an honor shout out to everybody out there, and for your wifey, the production squad, everybody, and you know what? We love everybody from your TNT, Niner Mike. We love all y'all. We love the Hawaii guy. Is it Mike?
Tony.
We love him, man. We went to Hawaii, and we love aloha to him, man, because we went to Waikiki, Honolulu out there in Oahu, and it's dope out there. But big shout out to all y'all, Niner fam. We're always gonna love you for knowing about the Niners.
Look at him, boy! I tell you what, look for Jorge and Chloe to cut an album sometime in the next 2 or 3 years. Hey, Jorge, you and Chloe have a great night. If you guys got Friday, got time for us, get on back over here. All right?
We will. Much love, everybody.
All right, fam. Night. Zach, you're so confused. Hey, fam, tell you what, I'll see you Friday if you got time. Just have a great night. Thanks for the likes and the contributions. Have a great night. China!